are coming our ways in a potentially very entertaining best of 5 series. It's again with Mr. Nilly and this time with Mr. Barbecue Turkman.
Hello, guys. Thank you so much for having me. I couldn't be excited. Just like the amount of excitement I have right now for the finals, seeing the teams we've got in here. We've got Secret, we've got Suomi, as Nilly already said, and I just can't believe the games we're about to see. Both these teams have proved themselves time and time again, and I think Suomi at this point, they've been playing amazingly.
Well, let's take a look at the team stats, and as we can see, well, they haven't won too much here in the ECL, but have won a lot of tournaments outside of that, winning the 2v2 Nomad tournament yesterday, the 2v2 World Cup as well. So they are truly beasts when it comes to that format, and we want to see more from them for sure. And well, stats showing us that they could still improve on their wins, but that's what they are here for. Looking at some player stats, we have the Max and the Viper, two players that are considered to be maybe number 1 and number 2 in team games in the world at the moment. Should be an epic matchup.
Oh man, I could not be more excited to see teams like this making the finals. I think everyone that jumped through this time has been absolutely amazing. All the teams that have made it this far have been incredible. So to end up with a final, seeing everyone just duke it out between each other, this is where it's at, guys. This is why we love the scene. The fact we get to see such high quality teams the entire way through.
And well, remember that last time Secret and Suomi faced each other, Suomi won quite convincingly 2-0 in the 3v3 stage, and I will give my ready, and then we will jump into twin puddles here. And I'm really excited. Barbecue Turkman, is your body ready?
Oh mate, you know it. With these kind of maps, I am just excited.
Okay, and we are launching into the game, and whew, this could be pretty close. Secret, obviously, they want to win this one and crawl a bit further away from the rest of the field. And Finland, they maybe want to keep some dreams alive towards the offline finals, but for sure show what they're up to and introduce the players. Barbecue Turkman.
Well, let's load in and see what we've got. Dun, 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 dun. All right, so the map already, as Nilly has said, is going to be twin puddles for this game. Towards the south, in the teal, we have the Max as the Malians. His ally for this game going to be Vidlis in the grey. Playing as dun, 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 the Japanese.
Dun dun dun. Okay, we have the Viper playing the Hans here in the north. He has his own small pawn for himself, and out somewhat far away from any pawns, playing Malay here at the left-hand side.
Very even in that respect as well, because we did have the Max with the south of his base. He does have that pond, whereas Valise caught in the same situation as Dow. No pond for him.
Oh, right-hand side, we already see an engagement scout against scout here. It feels for me that Viper was winning this one, but he is retreating, didn't want to take any big shenanigans here, not any big risks, and he will just wall the right-hand side off and, well, wants to go onto the lumber camp first there. That's also pretty nice. Very unlikely that he will get sneaked.
That's it. In series like this, especially to be at the finals already, players are going to be playing very well contained in the first kind of game. Everyone wants that first one. If you get that first match in basically under your belt, you essentially have a little bit of breathing room to move with, and it puts some pressure on your opponents to do something a little bit weird, and you can kind of deal with that as you see fit. Whereas the first game right now, this is what will set up the pacing for the entire match.
Well, yeah, that's what you kind of say, right? But if we remember the semifinals, the first game didn't really set the pace for the whole match. It was BZK taking the 2-0 lead and then Suomi coming back with the 3-2. So no matter how the first game goes, Suomi, they can perform in the whole series.
Good under pressure, something they've been proving time and time again. So to see what they can pull out of the bag here, let's have a look. We've got some strong players, and let's do a little bit of a check-in round, see where everyone's maps are kind of located right now. It looks like everyone's using the same kind of build from the get-go, seeing pretty much 4 villages on wood from everyone, which is to be expected when there's water on the map like this, just so everyone can get their fishing ships down.
Yeah, could even make an argument for 5 to add those numbers up quite nicely. Malians obviously have a bit more wood since their building simply cost less wood. That's why 4 is kind of accepted. Viper, he will go for 5 after finishing his walls up. Doc kind of late here.
Yeah, it looks like between we've got the Viper putting his walls up defensively already. We've got the Max putting his out, but there's already the Doc for the Max, whereas Viper still a little bit behind, actually. Looks like he's just sending a villager to deal with that one now.
Oh, and Viper with his Doc here. 25 HP will without Loom, taking quite some damage. Let's take a look. Velise, can he maybe take this one down? It's only 3 more hits needed, 2 more hits needed. Okay, no. Velise goes back. And only 18 HP on the Scout now. Lost quite a lot. Fought against 2 villagers already in this game.
Did delay the Doc, however, so going to be pretty good there in terms of economy overall. Velise going down with the Doc now as well, and oh, look at that. Velise already across the map on Viper's Pond.
How did he manage to do that? We had that in the other series where they sneaked around, and well, that's really tricky for the Viper to spot. And he has zero idea about this. Not sure if they saw the recorded game of the semifinals, but this is going to be, well, sneak number 2.
This is actually going to be a little bit of insanity. Viper's Scout already down at Velise. He's not going to notice this one coming until it's too late at this point, really. Only way is if he moves his fishing ships across the side, and it looks like even then, Velise actually putting his villager up in the top of the puddle there as well. So if he needs it later on in the game, he's going to have the option for it.
And Viper, he's just walling this area off and just to make sure, yeah, no one can sneak through here. I will wall there, and it seems a bit like they're even trying to set up a team wall, which will be really costly for Doubt though, so I'm not really expecting that will go up too nicely. Viper the Max now with the Loom, so should be clicking up any second. Viper actually struggling a bit for food. We can see the Finns with pretty solid Dark Ages here.
There we go, the Max, Velise, Viper all on their way up, just waiting for Doubt at this point. And man, I don't think he's going to see that Doc the way he's walling right now. Unless he decides to wall to the puddle, that may not be how it goes. This is very peculiar, and I absolutely love it straight away to see something like this. It's not going to be a stock standard series, guys. Forget what I said before, how people might be playing this one safe. We had the sneak at under 10 minutes in-game from the get-go.
Yeah, pretty beautiful move, and Viper, he won't spot that. Or will he? No, not really. Kind of important that Velise is not going for the right-hand side fish. He keeps on the left-hand side once. Doubt he's going for man-at-arms aggression here with melee. Did add some more villagers and goes for some aggression with one of his villagers. Let's see what he is up to.
Interesting. We already have the barracks on the way up by the Max as well. So he's going to be in a good position to get some units out to kind of push this back at some point in time as soon as he sees what Doubt's doing. Just because, of course, that is going to inherit a response from him. Whereas looking at the rest of it across here, it looks like we've got the Viper, Doubt finishing off their team wall, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, lovely stuff to finish that off that quickly. It seems like the Finns, they will struggle with that a bit here. And, well, it's still early. The Max will go on to Scouts. Should probably defend Doubt quite nicely off here. Who's now going for man-at-arms. Just continues with his aggression, and well, the Max, he will defend this without biggest of problems.
Having his walls up so early makes it very, very easy for him to be able to deal with here, just because he doesn't really have to worry about too many places to defend, and looking at it, he can just keep those walls up and it should be alright. Does lose his Scout against Doubts at the front there, Doubt remaining with 2 HP, but powering up the rest of those walls, and he's going to be pretty safe. But looking over at Viper's Puddle, here come the Fire Galleys.
Yeah, but Velise, he invested quite a lot onto that water already, resulting into not having a single building on land at the moment, not a single barracks even. So if, for example, Doubt were to go over there with his men-at-arms, he could do quite a bit, but he for now is distracted, trying to get his tower up, which will be impossible because the Max is just microing this so well. The tower is helping out as well.
Wow.
And the Max, solid defense by him.
That was, yeah, super, super solid. Trailing those units around so well, letting the tower do the majority of the work. So many man-at-arms killed off with just a couple of scouts managing to deal with the whole situation. Fantastic job overall. Couldn't be more impressed. Over on the Viper's water, it looks like we do have Valise basically finishing off these fishing ships now. Viper actually trying to keep it alive, using the village there, but might actually lose a villager that as well. So he's going to lose a villager as well as the fishing ships.
And, well, I love the tower to, well, kind of prevent more fishing ships dropping off the food. The thing is though, Belize, he has 2 docks, so he can basically just delete one and the fishing ships always can drop off quite nicely. Meanwhile, the Max, he's getting some kills against Stout, who couldn't finish the team wall. This looks better and better for the Finns.
They are slowly taking a massive lead here. The scout numbers are getting good as well, so as long as the Max manages to keep that one out, Doubt's not going to be able to really move out from his base, and if he keeps his team wall open as well, it means Doubt, the Viper, are all susceptible to any kind of raid in through here, because Viper hasn't actually walled towards the pond. The tower going to be a little bit helpful, but at the end of the day, we can actually see the scouts just run under that and not really care.
Yeah. Scouts, obviously, mobility is so great for them, and well, just trying to get some more map control. It seems like Belize is completely walled, beautiful for him. And suddenly it's 2 against 0 pawn controls. That's not really how this map works. 13 fishing ships more for the Finns, huge advantage.
That's what I'm trying to figure out here. Each team starts with a pond, but somehow Finland has ended up with both. That's amazing to me. A very, very calculated risk at the start is paying off for them amazingly. Even has the demo ship in that Tom pod rating, just in case some extra units decide to come out. Viper obviously trying to get some fire galleys out, trying to get some demolition ships out himself. But look at this, the scouts straight through like we were saying. The team wall never got completed, and in comes the Max to do some damage.
Oh, Viper is there to go for some defense though and gets 2 kills. Oh no, they will trade off 1-1. It's totally fine. Viper has to be fine here and repairs his dock, even built a second dock. He really wants to contest his pawn, kind of feels responsible for it.
Well, I'm just looking at this at the moment and it is just rough. I'm not sure how Secret are going to kind of get a comeback in this one. Obviously the fish boom would be the biggest way to kind of come back into it, but they don't have the fish boom to kind of rely on here. They're against this. They're in trouble in terms of military already because the map control at the moment is pretty much completely to Finland. What'd I miss?
Oh no, I was screaming before it actually happened. Some them was pretty close to the villagers here of the Viper, but they jumped into the tower and did survive, so it was only demos there at the top. Still Valise continuing to pressure all that water area. Viper not really with the wins, and the Max, he stays active, snacks some more villagers, and up to Castle Age. What a beautiful execution at the moment by Suomi.
This is actually phenomenal looking at this. What are we seeing? He's got obviously the stable up. He's got the gold miners there as well. Really hasn't kind of committed too much. What do you think we're going to see? He's moving up already. In fact, there goes Bloodlines. We know exactly what we're about to see.
Yeah, and the second stable is coming up, so no secrets there. And yeah, on the other side, we see double archery range from Belize. I want to say, but it's only 1 archery range. Has endless amount of food now as well. Was just waiting for the second building, and then we know the composition. Malian, Knights, and Japanese crossbowmen before either of the secret player can actually click up to Castle Age.
This is exactly what you see when one team ends up with all of the fishing on the map. You just have so much extra food income from those fishing ships, even though you've had to invest a little bit into the water in terms of military count there, but somehow they managed to end up with map control as well. So they're just in an absolutely beautiful situation right now, so let's hope they can kind of hold this one. And Dowds looks like he's getting quite a few archers out on the field, but end of the day right now, he's not clicking up to Castle Age.
How many farms does he have? Like 11 or something here. Maybe needs to use his market a bit and then juggle himself up to Castle Age. The timing won't be too bad. Now, as we can see, he's exactly doing that. But then needs to go to fletching and his eco. Not too impressive.
There we go. Both of the secret players now clicking up on the way. Quite a bit behind, though, when you compare to the Max, who is already there, already getting his ups, and we should start seeing some units spew across the map any second. And there's the Knights already, plus armor, plus attack, plus the Bloodlines. He's ready to go.
Yeah, indeed. And, well, can we see Doubt walling this off? Left-hand side doesn't seem like it. 150 HP here. No villagers really around to get the quick votes rolling. And Doubt, he is quite defensively with all his army. this will be a raiding fest for the Max, and he even goes for husbandry to be even quicker in and out.
Oh man, this is where the raiding begins. As we know with Knights, they just don't care about Town Center Fire. The 2 armor of base, 120 HP. When it comes down to the archers here, they're just not going to do enough damage to push these guys away. If they get some good positioning on top of a hill, obviously not going to want the engagement against them, but the way this is looking right now, these villages are in trouble.
No, some more point engagement here, something I didn't really expect. At least, did he lose that villager at the top? No, he's still repairing. And, well, stays somewhat active at that end. Doubt, he keeps defending. Left-hand side still open. Can the crossman of Elise do something? I think numbers are a bit too small. I think Doubt, he's somewhat fine for now.
Doubt's done really well. His army is quite actually high here in terms of the amount of units he's got on the field at the moment. So he should survive against Valise relatively easy. There shouldn't be enough crossbows from Valise to really kind of move in. He could get potentially 1 or 2 villager picks looking around this kind of wood line here overall, but really not much aside from that going on. We can see the Max. Looks like he might be moving around to try and get some harassment on the Viper, but Viper already knowing this is coming and getting those palisade gates up.
Yeah, nice defense there for sure. Could maybe see some more aggression here on water. It feels like Valise is giving up the water though. Viper with a lot of aggression and, well, invested quite a bit. Couldn't really allow the Japanese player to go full water boom here. But, well, won't have that much fish. Already adding some fishing ships for himself though. And that was quite a sick investment. Now getting rated as his own gold spot.
Yeah, really good play here by Valise, knowing that gold was forward, knowing that the wall off was so close to it overall. Moving in, just getting a couple of snags there. Knight's going to bust their way through the walls very, very quickly. And look at this, Viper's going to get pushed off his farms, as we've already seen. He's pushed off gold. I don't think he has a second gold to actually move to at the moment. His other gold being in front of his stables.
Yeah, no chance for him at the moment. As you said, 71 gold. He could maybe use his market. Has some floating stone and wood, but is building another TC for that. So at the moment, no real production for him. Maybe got the info from Doubt. That Doubt said, okay, I have a lot of army. I will come over and clear this up, which he is trying to do now.
Ooh, there we go, a lot of units here. Obviously high ground going to Valise here though, and those scouts getting taken out very, very quickly. Some good micro from Doubt making sure of that. Viper sitting at the front just trying to tank as much of that damage as possible, because at the end of the day, the Knight's hit point pool, absolutely huge. The armor's fantastic as well, so he can actually afford to take that damage.
Well, Viper only with +1 damage defense, the Max with +2 defense, so it's quite a big difference. And well, the threat is still here. Let's take a look. Production, we still see more Knights. We see some more crossmen coming over. I think they will just try to regroup and then force another aggression to Viper. Let's take a look. He's trying to get the TC up. Will most likely get it though.
Yeah, with the amount of units on the front here, I think this is going to be pretty much one of the larger engagements we're going to see for now. This might actually dictate the rest of the game in terms of who's going to be in control of the map, who's going to have the resources, and who's going to have the ability to really push out, and who's going to have to sit at home. Looking at Doubt, he's got a lot of crossbows on the field here overall. So potentially, unless, oh, come on, what's the Max up to here? Just sitting back. We need both of you involved, and here we go. This might be the engagement.
Well, it's kind of tricky, right? You don't really want to block your teammate. You want to allow him to micro here. But now, since we have ballistics, there's not much more microing. And that's why we see Doubt is just moving in. The Viper is in the back. He's trying to debate a bit as well. And just trying to be there if we see the big engagement. It's ballistic for Doubt, but the hill for Valise, kind of tricky to engage for both of them. But look at the villager numbers.
That's exactly what I was focusing on just then. For the Viper, we've got 55, Doubt 58. Looking over at the Max, so 85 villagers already ready to go. 59 from Valise. Remembering Valise has lost the water, but still was up in town center counts very, very early. And man, look at this hill at the moment here. Neither player can move out. Neither player can afford to lose it.
Now adding some more stables. Indeed, the pressure is really on there. And maybe you could go for some debation. You know that Valise still is without ballistics. And now Doubt he's moving in a bit further. Wants to micro this off. Let's maybe take a look at the resources. No one really looking close to him. Well, Valise, 500 food, 1k gold.
Wow, that's a pretty good reserve up. So he's ready to go is what you're saying.
Oh. Something like that. He is at least having crossbow numbers quite nice. He won't invest into too much more food. The Max even selling some wood, wants to keep his numbers up. Maybe Valise just wants to wait for ballistic and then go for the aggression. Meanwhile, we have some raids from the Max in the back. Score, not that scary, but still the aggression. Just think about it. If Elise, with all his stone in the bank, can get a castle up at that hill.
Both players starting to get some fishing traps down now as well, not wanting to sacrifice that eco. But again, look at that. The Max in there, doing some raiding, getting some kills where he can, making things happen. This is what we've been seeing from these guys the entire length of this tournament. They're moving in. They're looking for those little points of aggression they can move towards. Anywhere they can get the upper hand, that's what they're going for.
Speaking of going for, we have Elise going for Imp, Viper adding some more stables, goes for 4 stable aggression. We have the Max going for 3 and now clicking up to Imp with another aggressive castle. What is Elise up to? He has enough stone for a castle. Can he get this one up at the front hill? Would just be too good to be true. I think Secret has enough army though.
I was just looking at the counts then as well. You've been absolutely on point tonight, Nelly, or I should say today for you. Looking at the number counts right now, this is so many knights, so many crossbows. If they choose, they could just overrun that. Obviously, we've got the Mangonel in the back there, but I don't know if it's going to be able to make enough of a difference here.
And now they're moving in. Viper's coming from the right-hand side. He goes for the split micro. Good Mangonel shot to begin this off against Stout here. Can he get another one off? I think he won't because the Mangonel is getting focused down. Now gets a solid one off here. Bam! 2 shots. That was way better than we expected. And the castle won't go up, but those were some heavy losses here for the Secrets, although they win this fight.
Definitely some bigger losses than what I was expecting to see there. End of the day, these unit compositions are actually working out very, very similarly. As we know, Knights versus Crossbows, Crossbows versus Knights. And then end of the day, still, there we go, Viper trying to get the hill up on the castle here. If he can manage to hold this one down, he'll be in a good spot. But look at this, the reinforcement coming in from the Max, from Valise. They might be able to push this one back if they can get on top of it now.
Oh man, but you have to think about it, like, this is the fight where Viper and Doubt are the strongest, just shortly before reaching Imperial Age here for Belize and the Max, and this fight still went kind of evenly because the Mangonel shots were so good, and the Knight positioning at the right hand side wasn't really there, and you see Belize is just retreating, they are getting all the upgrades, and then early Imp, they should just dominate against Secret here.
That's it. As soon as the trebuchets are out, you can't hide behind a castle. You need to get out and deal with them. If you don't have your trebuchets to be able to basically engage in the treb war, it's pretty much game over until you manage to push in from there. Like you were saying, both players returning with their units, going to get those ups on them. We see plate barding. We've got Cavalier already coming down from the Max. We've already got Arbalest on the way as well for Valise, so in a good situation here. Valise even getting his defensive castle up just across the way here. And look at that from the Max. Farimba as well on the way down.
Oh man, how can he afford all that? His eco is just out of this world. 127 villagers, 7 fishing ships working for him in the back. Viper was trying to go for some raids, couldn't really happen, and, well, Doubt. Those walls, they won't really go up. He is in a world of pain here. Arbalest now moving forward from Belize as well.
Oh man, even kept that one open, but the castle gonna do its job there. Gonna push through this very, very quickly. Obviously got the +4 armor on these guys now, so they can go against these crossbows. They can sit under the town centers. They don't really care. Cavalier about to pop, and there we go. Look at that, +7 damage on these guys. The raiding potential is absolute insanity.
Oh man, the damage output just out of this world indeed. Look at that, 17 HP, and they just tied to the hits here. That's just so sick, and, well, trying to retreat, but won't do too much damage. We see the Marauder switch now for Viper. He might go on to Tarkins, but that's good against Arbalest, but won't be too great once the Max is coming over as well with Cavaliers or maybe even Camels.
There's Valise as well pushing out. He's got his Arbalest mass there, using the trebuchets to push in against the town center right now. Obviously, we're going to be seeing more and more trebuchets from him because that's the big advantage they really have. Valise knowing what's up, he's already investing into pikemen, so he's getting his counters ready to go. But there we go. Everyone's starting to hit Imperial. Viper on his way up will be there in just about 30 seconds.
The problem for the Viper is, though, well, we mentioned that he had 2 gold spots and one of them being very open, and, well, he's forced out of that one. So his Tarkin production won't be too sick. Already trying to juggle a bit of resources here, and if Elise is staying active on that gold spot, he might even win with the Arbalest. Left-hand side, Doubt forced the Doubt Castle onto the Max, though. Sorry for missing that, guys.
Oh, here we go. Look at this. Elite Tarkin coming up in this castle. Very, very low at the moment, but there's repairs that will make sure that goes ahead. So before he leaves that castle, he will at least get the elite upgrade out of it. We've got the rest of the armor going down for these guys as well. So obviously Viper going to try and get in there, do some damage while you can, stack up against these Arbalests, but oh, this is looking rough. I'm just looking at Doubt Space right now, and those Cavalier have just been merciless.
Oh, merciless indeed. Look at the KD, 123 against 52, and Secret is forced to tap this one out. 2 pawns against 0. Even Secret can't hold that.
There you go, showing just how important the pawns are in this one. The Viper and Doubt falling behind from the get-go. Some absolutely amazing tactical play there from Valise, or I should just say Suomi in general, moving out across the map, getting those docks out, and really kind of just playing it from there. They had such a dominating look on this map from the early game.
Yeah, and it's honestly like, it's such a repeat of the series we saw before against Bazookas. Just the sneak dog tried to control the one of the enemy. Viper and Doubt, I'm not sure if they didn't see the record or if they thought they were safe. It kind of was a weird move, right? The villager has to go undetected through both players and then sneak one in the back. It's so unlikely that this works, but if it works, you saw what happened.
That's it. And at the end of the day, that and it comes in, you're already invested in your fishing ships. To see a couple of fire ships you're not expecting on fire galleys show up so quickly, man, that's where it just becomes an issue. But the Max using that advantage as well, being able to pretty much push in against both players. Valise playing just such a solid game as well. This could be an issue for Secret.
This could indeed be an issue. Going down 1-0 and, well, confidence should just rise for the Max and Valise. I'm excited for the rest of this series. Let's take a look into the statistics. The Max with a great KD, Doubt losing all his crossmen and so many villagers there in early imp of the Max. Not much he can do. All the resources collected for the Max. Even started to trade. Maybe there was just a misclick. Some short distance trade there. Quite a quick castle age timing by him as well. Unfortunate gold spots for the Viper and all the problems there in the back with the dock.
Man, I think it's pretty much what we expected to see here at the end of the day. Looking at the statistics, they absolutely reflect the matchup we saw.
Makes sense. Makes only sense. And
makes sense.
Yeah. Now I'm excited to see Step map that Secret lost in the semifinals, and Suomi can be really good at. We can see a lot of aggression there, and this is kind of a meta game for me. I'm expecting Scout Archer into Knight Crossbowman up to Limp.
Yeah, sounds about right to me. And even then, we've seen some amazing strategies used on this map, some amazing team plays overall, but I think you're right in terms of what we're going to see here. I don't think Secret's so worried right now about pulling something ridiculous off. They kind of just want to get their game, bring it to a 1-1 situation, feel a little safer, then they can just absolutely try and hammer it home. But that said, Winland at the moment looking pretty good. They could potentially go for something a little bit different and try and catch Secret off guard.
Oh man, and isn't that what a lot of fans were craving for quite some time now? Finland, one of the teams that quote-unquote underperformed the most when it comes to finishing in the high spots, and maybe it's their time to shine. We will find out on map number 2. It will be Step.
Towards the north of the map, in the grey yet again, we have Valise as the enemy. In the east, we have his opponent playing in the teal as the Franks, the Max.
And we have Viper playing the Mongols again. Will go for his hunt and his early up timing with scouts. At least that's what we're expecting. And Doubt he will mash out archers and maybe carry again here. We will see.
That's it. All we can do is sit back, watch, and see what the tactics are here. We can estimate all we want. And look, end of the day, there's tactics that are going to perform a little bit better on maps like this. But who knows what they're going to go for. Maybe we see something sneaky like we saw from Valise last time. And that's all we can hope for. Something ridiculous to bring this series into an insane close for this section of the tournament. But let's sit back, let's enjoy the games, and see exactly what these players have in store for us.
Well, at least I'm pretty happy that I was right with the prediction. that the civilizations kind of look like Chinese crossbowmen, and we see Mongols and Franks going for scouts, and after that some knights. I think that meta is a bit better for Team Secret, but remember, that is exactly what we saw on the 3v3 Arabia game number 1 in the last stage, where Suomi performed so well and kind of played close to a perfect game against Secret.
Well, that's it. End of the day, they took such a commanding position that really they couldn't actually get pushed too far away from basically victory at that stage. There was a couple of great engagements from Secret, really trying to hammer that one home. But end of the day, they were just up into Imp too quickly for really Secret to be able to hold on to. But this is a new game. This is fresh. We can see anything happen here, and it looks like we're not going to really see anything too crazy at the moment. Which obviously, being 3 minutes in, we're not going to see anything too insanity. I do remember that said, though, we did see, I think it was a Secret play from Tato, where one of the first things he did was drop a barracks and go straight drush. So just kind of flinging around at the moment, making sure something just absolute insanity like that isn't happening.
Yeah, the special tactics there, Boa finals, where he picked persons, and that was a lovely strategy for sure. One of the most epic ones a lot of people remember, and one of the highlights of 2018 for sure. And yeah, I'm really curious how this map is going to be played out. As I said, I'm expecting very meta play here. No tricky shenanigans. Both teams should feel pretty confident in their skills.
I am very, very surprised, though, that we didn't end up with the Mongols in this where now for Suomi overall. Obviously, this map kind of based around the hunt probably being the big thing. Obviously, heaps and heaps of deer between, the boars being the option. So I guess Viper really trying to push that one, as you said earlier, can actually move forward with the hunt, get a lot more resources in quickly thanks to the hunt bonus. And like I was just saying, already clicking up to feudal.
Yeah, he will always have the advantage, will click up quite nicely, and then will control the map. We saw him go for very early bloodlines, even skips Loom because he knows, okay, there are no scouts out, I will be the first one to feudal age anyways, and just feels like this is a good option. Could be very vulnerable to a trash, which we won't see here though.
Looking across the map, trying to see what everyone's up to. Obviously, no scouts in this game as well. You do only start with the horse. So as soon as Viper gets up in a feudal, once he gets a couple of scouts out, it makes it very, very hard for anyone to defend it because you can't rely on your allies' scout moving across the map to help you out. It is going to be stuck. You have your villages and town center to deal with. That's about it. And look at that close barracks from Viper as well.
Yeah, we're expecting the stable to be around there as well. Perfect placement for that deer as well. And, well, they're just going for a lot of aggression here. Quite nicely. Guys, remember, the uptiming is just out of this world because we are starting with some more villagers as well. I think we have 6 villagers for everyone, 9 for Chinese. So that's a bit untypical. Stable coming from the Viper.
Here we go. Moving forward as well. It looks like we might be where he wants to put his wall offline as well, just judging by the trees we are seeing across the map and the house down the back there. So moving forward with his military units, going to have that quicker rush timing. Then from there as well, going to be able to wall off. So it's really a perfect situation from him. Horse there from the max taking a little bit of damage, but end of the day, it's not going to do too much from there. And it looks like we do have the wall off coming up from the max as well. So trying to get everything towards the town center. That lumber, though, is still looking very, very open.
Ah, indeed. Viper even collecting the gold again. So maybe that's the timing to go for Loom. No queues up, more villagers. That's just so... it's actually not ballsy. It's just so close to perfection. He does not need Loom before the first players are having their scouts out. So makes a lot of sense. And is now arresting some. The max played without Loom as well, though. And that's not how it works. If your enemy is already feudal age, let's take a look. These 3 more hits might get the builder into his own base. Yes, he does. Ooh.
Some good micro though, takes minimal damage from the TC there, but you're right, this is greed, but it's calculated greed. Viper knows if he's the first one up, he's the one with the scouts out, he doesn't need to play defensively. He's going to be the one they're pushing against, he's going to get aggressive against that, and then move out against. So really right now, Viper's playing this cold and calculated, and it has been beautiful. Look at that, 3 scouts on the field already, forcing the walls up from the max, but still can get around there if he wants to.
Let's see. The max now walling this off. Feels more like he might go over and try to harass Belize a bit too. Now goes into Spearman and tries to make something, well, happened there, the Viper. Let's take a look. So far, not a single kill. Think that will change pretty quickly.
He's managed to gain map control early on though, which is quite nice, and he has forced a retaliation spear from Valise as well, so forcing a little bit of invested resources there, but 4 scouts out in the field, still to get a pick like you were saying, no kills done yet, but looks like he could potentially get one. He has enough scouts to engage that spear if he does want to, obviously not the best opportunity, but he can go for it, and he can try and knock these villagers off hunt, and here we go.
We'll focus down the first spearman here, takes 2 hits and then gets the kill. That's kind of okay-ish for him, forces those villagers back, but nice reaction in time for Valise. I think he will be completely fine. Ward off the right-hand side as well. They are zoning out the map quite nicely, but both of them individually, and, well, it's again Viper, full map control, Doubt sitting back, and they will have pretty strong eco behind this because of all the map control.
That's it. Right now, it's so hard for everyone else to move out. Looking at it, though, the Max has got 4 scouts already running around, trying to figure out where he can do some damage. Obviously, playing as the Franks as well, so getting a little bit of bonus hit points on those guys. So 54 HP, so having a little bit of an advantage. I say that, but Viper's already up on... Got the 5 ready to go.
Oh, you just cut out a small moment there. And yeah, he has a lot of scouts out and bloodlines as well. So could take some good engagement. Spearman over here is getting focused down. The Max, he is hungry for some more kills. Viper tries to wall in his villagers. Look at that, he built himself an own cage. What a beautiful move. And now even stopped.
Keep building it. There we go.
He stopped building it because he knew he was deleting it anyway and didn't want to waste more resources. Beautiful move after beautiful move from the best player in the world.
I was a little bit worried there when he stopped constructing the house, but he managed to get on it just in time. Anyway, I guess the scouts were coming back, and they do have more HP, so he could have taken the engagement. But that could have been a real worry. But again, showing the skill base of these players, being able to defend all their villages, all their reactions are basically perfect.
Whew. That was pretty intense. Viper, he is 1 villager ahead, but the Max is now getting wheelbarrow, trying to run away from Viper, doesn't really want to take any back engagement. Viper gets 1 free hit off. Now it's the time for the big 2v2 clash. Valise and Doubt are getting fletching, and that means it's on.
It's on. Valise finally can be able to move out of his base here at the moment. Has been stuck in thanks to basically Viper's fantastic map control, really kind of abusing that faster uptime, getting the early bloodlines as well, so making it really easy to kind of keep this one and make sure Valise is scared. He doesn't want to move out, he's too worried about losing all those archers. And, ooh, I'm hearing some engagements happen.
Doubt lost quite a bit there, but also did manage to get some kills against Valise. KD pretty even still, and, well, Doubt needed to disengage, had the lower numbers. Question is Viper and the Max, who's adding the blacksmith for now? It seems like the Max too close to clicking up and Viper thinking about it as well. So most likely both first going Castle Age and then getting the blacksmith upgrades.
Absolutely. So getting that extra advantage and then moving into the transition, like you were saying, we can move into the Knight's crossbow and kind of see that play from there. Getting such stronger units out, this is where it's about. When Castle Age starts, that when it becomes the time that you can actually kill your opponent. At this stage, it's more about raiding, being annoying, getting all the damage you can kind of get done. But as soon as those Knights are on, as soon as those crossbows are there, that's when it can turn to game over situations very, very quickly.
Oh, yeah, Valise, he is kind of alone because the Max cannot really get into the walls now. Valise walled behind there, saving his villagers on the berries. No real villager losses as of yet. Viper even sending over his 1 spearman. The Max, again, first up to Castle Age. His transition is always so quick and so smooth. The Viper, he will take a bit more time. Even gets +1 defense before clicking up to Castle Age. That's surprising to me.
Yeah! It looks like they want to commit here, try and take out as much of the army as possible, try and do the damage while they can, and then move from there. But the only thing is, of course, if they get caught in the same situation as last time, bigger army, but not enough tech to back it up, and obviously don't have the villager counts as well, that's when they just begin to fall into this hole.
And this is going to be a 1 minute 10 second timing where the Max can go on to Knights, can maybe even attack to Light Cav, and Viper won't really have any Castle Age stuff for himself. Oh, he did cancel the +1 defense, so did agree with me, and did focus on Castle Age first. Makes a lot more sense. Doubt now up to Castle Age, release as well, and now everyone kind of waiting, and well, we will see all the upgrades and then the big engagement, early Castle Age.
I guess that's pretty much the playstyle at this point. Everyone walled up, so they can't really do too much damage against it. Viper looking quiet, pushed into his little base here, but walls are pretty much on the way for him as well. Actually getting a market up as well. Might need to juggle some economy here to figure it out. Second stable going down as well, so it looks like we are going to move into that 2-stable Knight production, like you were saying. Obviously, we've got Forging on the way as well, so going to get that one. He's already got his armor upgrade, Bloodlines, so looking good at getting the engagements from there.
Oh, the Max actually forgot to go for double X. Now queues up some more Knights, and well, watch his villager in here. TC should be built on the outside here. Goes for 3 TC, boom, instantly. Nice job by him. The Viper, well, he has 2 stables. Question is it Knights? Is it Camels? I think Knights is the better option.
Absolutely. With the amount of archers we've seen on the field at the moment from Valise, the camels can get cut down quite quickly if we do see basically any trouble with an engagement, especially if Doubt's not available to kind of tank those fire and push those crossbows away. So to see the Knights get a little bit of bulk in there, be able to do some raiding, I think that's what we're expecting from this.
Ah, and Viper, he realizes, okay, I have still 12 scouts. What's going on?
Yeah, interesting choice with light cavalry, hey.
Well, he still had 12 scouts left, right, and a lot of HP, so makes a lot of sense to me. Think maybe even the Max could have gone for it. He had 8 scouts himself left, and well, this could really add some damage output. Oh, maybe even more, look at that. 13 light cav.
You're not even wrong. Looking at this, of course, playing as Mongols, so there's light cav up to 98 HP on them. Some awesome bonuses, of course, as the Mongols does have the +2 armor. He's got the +1 attack, so if he wants to, he can get some good engagements on top of these crossbows. Cost him minimal gold, and I guess he's kind of set up for a little bit more of the trash war in the end, but combining it with camels.
And both players rushing to ballistics, and well, we both said that most likely Knights is a better option, so we're both a bit surprised that Camels is the choice here. At the moment, the Max feels like he's without husbandry, or why is the Viper chasing down? Kind of feels weird, but all game long, it is Valise and the Max having their armies not combined, and Viper and Doubt hugging each other.
Oh, it's cute, and that's what we love to see, the team play here. One other thing I will point out for Doubt as well, +2 attack, +2 armor, +2 range, ballistics. He's looking strong.
Valise will get the same stuff for himself as well, though, and trying to micro against Doubt, who is having quite solid numbers. 35 military here for him. Valise only at 29, now builds a defensive siege workshop, trying to micro a bit more. The Max, he should be pulling ahead in eco compared to the Viper. Rest should be kind of even. Let's take a look. Maybe the Max, does he really want to take an engagement? I don't think so. Maybe third stable could be something. Now he goes for the monastery first.
Potentially, I'm looking around Viper at the moment as well. I can only see 2 town centers play. So like you were saying, there's the third one coming up on the stone now, just towards the east of his base. Has been still utilizing the hunt across the map though, so that's where food income's been coming from. Mongols absolutely having a huge bonus when it comes down to hunt. So Viper kind of just abusing that one, and seems they've committed to the map control. They may as well abuse that part of it as well.
Yeah, it makes total sense, and Mongols so good, the Viper's so good at using that as well. They had all the map control, as you said, and now we see light cap splitting off at the north. Won't really find any damage here. Let's take a look. Are we fearing an overchop? Not really. Just tries to get something rolling. The Viper, he's now going for the attack towards the Max, who is finally adding more stables.
Gonna be able to get his military count out and hold this one. The overchop, like you were saying, still a little bit far from, so the light cavalry not going to be able to run in and do any serious damage. The extra stable, in fact, there's the third stable coming down, like you were saying, so really going to be able to kind of push this one into overdrive, kick that Knight production, and really utilize that economy he's built up. Looking at that, 53 villages for Viper, 67 for Doubt, a massive whopping number, 67 from the Max as well, so even Stevens, and then we've got 59, 60 for Valise.
Yeah, all pretty even ecos here for sure. Now the Mangonel, can it get some shots off? It seems like that will be a no for now. Knights were scaring it a bit. The Max going for fletching for his TCs. Not the most important thing. Doubt very clumped up here. Mangonel could get some big hits off. The Viper, is he trying to go for the first round here? What a beautiful move here. And this will be a very decisive fight. I think Doubt has the bigger numbers. The army from the left-hand side, so nice. The Max was still missing with some of his knights. Belize needs to micro to the left, and that was a beautiful wraparound by the Snake.
Oh, fantastic. Sacrificing a lot of units there, but that's so many crossbows from Doubt. He's actually got 50 on the field here compared to only the 24 of Elise, and the numbers are cutting down even as they're forced to retreat out of the fight here. Viper keeping a lot of those units alive, and Valise, though, going up to Imperial.
Oh man, Doubt with all the big numbers here. Look at his KD, 28 to 8. Viper kind of sacrificing himself at the front, and wow, 51 military. Doubt's macro absolutely on point. 2 archer ranges, now goes on to Siege Workshop. He is going up to Imp as well, and that's with the better eco, only slightly behind Valise. Playing beautifully again.
This is looking bad right now because Doubt has so many numbers on the field. I don't know how they're going to be able to engage this one, especially when he's up into Imperial. He's going to have all the upgrades behind this as well because his economy is just absolutely rocking it. Viper working as a meat shield and knowing his place in this game, not waiting for Doubt to push in, making sure he's the one taking the damage. And this is the teamwork that really separates just teams in general right now. Viper knows his part, Doubt knows his part, and they're both playing it and executing it perfectly.
Yeah, and you see, the Max, he knew his part as well, but now switched his part a bit because he is starting to sling Belize here, apparently. He's still onto some knights, so maybe just gave some resources. And, well, Belize, he will get all the upgrades he needs, and knight numbers should be better for the Franks player. Now going for the Siege Workshop as well. Let's take a look at resources here. Viper, very deep in Castle Age. The Max, well, 400, 300. Depends if he wants to queue up some more. Not for now.
Man, I'm just looking at this right now. Doubt is just adding archery range after archery range. He is committing to this now. He knows he's in a place in the game where he can commit to pretty much stomping his opponents, and I'm worried that's what we're going to see here. Both Valise and the Max gaining up on top of this town center here, knowing they're going to need to fight this one together. But look at that castle from Viper. They can't push into this. They can't deal with this right now. There's too many crossbows from Doubt.
Yeah, no chance. Yeah, Belize will have the upgrades a bit earlier, but they cannot engage before that, and what a beautiful timing. Exactly when they have the bigger army, and that will be pretty damn ugly for the Max, who is not controlling his gold spots. Now puts down a defensive castle as well, and a very much needed one.
Look at these ups for Leafs though. We've got Bracer, Arbalest, we've got Chemistry going down. He's going to have everything he needs to kind of push in against this, but look at Doubt right behind him. Chemistry, Arbalest, Bracer. We've got the castle defensively set up as well. I can't see a Mangonel here, but look at this. The Max trying to push up a castle, going to lose a lot of villages potentially in the fight here as well. And Mangonel from Doubt as well.
Mangonel now trading off here, is going down. The castle will go up for sure. The Max with a lot of lost villagers, some into the TC, and the Arbalest in the back doing quite a lot of damage. Doubt maybe overextending under the castle here, but they are getting out just in time. The Viper going down heavily with his knight numbers. The question is now, though, what are they going for when it comes to army composition? Mangonel and Arbalest? Maybe not the best. Meanwhile, Doubt not getting a castle up in the center of the map here. And now we see the Ram post. Maybe it's a repeat of the Mayans game from earlier.
Oh, wow. If we see a little bit of a change here, this could be phenomenal. We've already got capped Ram out for Valise as well. So knowing his commitment here, denies that that castle in the middle of the map to defend the gold spot, to defend the zone spot. Doubt obviously having to return home to try and deal with this one. Same thing goes for Viper. Viper actually cleaning up some villages and some units on the way through as well. But there's a double capped Ram on that castle.
80% here. Viper will indeed try to debate a bit. Arbalest are now coming over, trying to maybe clear up all those Rams. And it's going down to only 1200 HP. The third Ram beautifully stopped by Doubt here. And it seems like the castle will survive, but will lose quite a lot of HP. Or will it? Third Ram is coming over. 600 HP here. Can he save this one? One Ram only and 600 HP, and it survives.
I remember just a couple of minutes ago, we had Doubt seeing it nearly double the military count of pretty much his opponents. Whereas now, we've got Doubt on 47, Valise on 42. It is so dead even right now. The Max is there with his units as well, ready to help out. Just about to crack an Imperial as well, so he will have the upgrades behind this, all the way up to Paladin if he so chooses. We'll get his +4 armor, we'll get his extra attack. He has the option here to really kind of hammer this home and work as that meat shield. The Viper halfway towards Imperial, slowly getting there. But I'm wondering if we're going to see an early timing attack at the moment.
Oh, and Viper, he's actually going for camels, and that's not really great in the long run. Mangoda is way better in that regard, and oh, this is going to be a tricky army composition. I think Cavalier Arbalest are way better than Camel Arbalest here, especially because Viper will be so slow. At the moment, Finns, they're looking good in this game.
They're looking strong again. Like we were saying before, they kind of take that early kind of advantage and then get it pushed back. Whereas this time, they prove they can do the exact opposite. They had Viper hammering on them the entire game. They lost map control, and they're showing just how skilled players they are here at the moment as well. They're going to be able to push in again, so they're going to be able to do the damage. And that's the thing, they can't really push in. There's nothing Secret can do about this right now, especially with the camels, because the big thing I'm worried about, +2 camels against Arbalest, fully upgraded Arbalest, they're going to lose so many on the entry. It could make things near impossible. But Cap Ram's moving out for Doubt as well towards Release's kind of, I guess, castle set up here with all these workshops.
Yeah, both just waiting for the Siege Ram upgrade, and then we'll probably see some big engagement. The Max tagging to Paladins now as well, even getting some extra gold spots. I wouldn't be surprised if they are trying to take some center control to set up the markets already.
How did he have the resources built up for that straight away? It was Cavalier, straight into Paladin from there. He's got his +4 armor. Iron Casting's on the way down with trying to get the counter in play. But like we were saying, look at this, Velisa already on Siege Rams.
And Doubt is kicking in there any second as well. Has the better numbers, didn't have the better upgrades for quite some time. Maybe just fall back for Paladin and then take the big engagement. I would love to see the Max build some stables at the right-hand side. At the moment, he's just grouping up at home. Did clear the aggressive castle, has some defensive castles himself. Now, the thing is, what will we see for Mr. Viper? Will it be full camels? This will be tough for them.
It looks like we are seeing full camel here. He's got a lot in play. He's taking up to heavy camel as well. Viper going into Bodkin now as well, so we should see that Mangadai transition sometime soon here as well. How many castles has he got up at home? I'm only counting the one, so it is going to be a slow up from him to push into that one. And it looks like we might be about to see an engagement. Paladin is about to pop. We've got Blast Furnace on the way as well, so we are going to see those full teched up Paladins any minute here. Trebuchet is behind it as well. Siege Ram's moving in, taking the brunt of that arrow fire, of course. And here we go.
Numbers are looking a bit better for Doubt at the moment with 64 military here, but is it enough against Paladins and that amount of Rams? He probably will have some problems holding that castle. Did need to put a lot of stone into repairing that one at the front. Now preparing for the Chukanu switch, something we don't really see from Belize just yet, but he has so much stone, he could potentially go for it as well, just keeping the numbers low for Doubt, who's now adding some more archery ranges. It's really tough to call this one.
Man, Suomi doing a great job of just controlling the pace at this point. The Rams moving in, but look at this. In come the Paladins. They're going to force guys back straight away. The Trebuchets meaning that basically Doubt the Viper can't move position. They need to keep these castles up. But look at that, it's still not working. And here comes the Paladin engagement. They've got Blast Furnace. They've got their armor upgrades. They've got the HP bonus. These are about as good as the Paladins get. And look at them just cutting through like butter with the Arbalest behind.
And Camel's not even having all the upgrades. As we all know, Mongols lacking the last defense upgrade and did not research the last attack upgrade. So some problems here. Now the attack for the next castle. Traps are going back though because the Ram is coming forward. That was really costly for the Viper. And every time he comes over, tries to help at the right hand side, he is getting raided at the front. And the Max, he's going more and more aggressively there.
This is just getting more and more interesting at this stage. Looks like Doubt's pretty much on his own on the east side of the map here at the moment. He is pushing out with the Arbalest. He's doing a great job mixing some skirmishes in as well. Doing a great job getting more and more archery. Chukunu's on the way as well. Using that castle production, trying to mix into that end game composition he wants. But another castle coming up on the front here for Velise. It looks like Velise will hold it with the mix of Siege Rams and Arbalests.
Looks like it, and yeah, still I would love to see some more stables here at the right hand side from the Max. Viper, he's getting so much pressure in his face though that maybe it's just fine if the Max produces them at home, sends them over the right hand side if need be, or otherwise just raids the Viper at the front, who is losing one castle, now goes down to 2, is adding more stables though. Elite Mango dies. I don't really think he can get on to 2 big numbers. For the first time today, we see Secret being not the first one setting up the trade.
Oh man, this has been absolutely rough for them. Even the map right now for the Max and Velise, it is perfectly built for that trade. They've basically walled off towards each other. They've got the tree lines there to help them out as well. This is a phenomenal play from them. They've been playing for the long run all game, and that's where it's starting to really pay off at the moment. Look at these engagements they're taking. They've got such a good combination here working together. The teamwork is absolutely phenomenal. Even seeing some skirmishes start to get mixed in for Valise here as well. And the Paladin numbers are just going down, down, down. There's Bodkin from the Max as well. So it looks like he wants to get involved here too.
I think that's only for his castles, honestly. And, well, Paladin number's not too scary at the moment. Only a 22 military here is the max. And it feels like Viper and out there pushing quite nicely. No Chukunu switch from Valise just yet. I think he did the upgrades. But for now, could have really used them so much better in all those ram fights. We don't really see the biggest engagement at the left-hand side. Viper only now going for caravans. Trade being set up so late. Valise with a sneaky attack, though, at the side here. Kind of a castle push and some rams.
Ooh, I like it. Very, very well played from him. Just opening up this position here. Can slowly push back in through there. And we're starting to see still no Chukunu transition overall. Mixing in more and more skirmish at this stage. Looks like gold might be a little bit low, but I guess he is mixing in a lot of siege ram here as well. So it is going to be an expensive basically to field on that front. But in come the Paladins. Here we go. The Max here to the victory right now. Let's see if he can push in, deal with these Chukunus, clean up these siege rams, and clean up these trebuchets and move in and see if these Arbalest can push in from there.
Well, then no more camels, so it's kind of likely. Honestly, Arbalest are now pushing forward. We see the Chukunus even having the lead upgrade already, so they are really good against all the rams, and now they're pushing forward. Now we can see even Stutter Step microing, some more castles from Doubt coming over. Oh, the Paladin production, so nice. Trade amount 10 for secret. On the other side, 55 already. Now Max even going for a speed upgrade. Only now chemistry for the Viper. This is really tough. Damage output wasn't really there. He's still missing quite a lot of upgrades. And the push continues. Valise, he's somewhat getting cleared up though. Trade is the main factor at the moment. That's really
from the
troubling.
We've even got Chivalry going down, buffing those stables even faster. We should have 40% increase in Paladin production here. So he is going to be going all out in this one. We are going to see Paladins coming from everywhere if you can keep the resources up. And it looks like with the trade they've set up at the moment, I'm looking at it over here, it is just a huge line. So they should have the gold to be able to bring this one home.
Doubt he has one gold spot in the back. Viper still has quite a lot of gold. And now the big raid in the center, potentially trying to get some trade rates. But look at that. The Finns, they are prepared and walling everything up. They won't allow those mango dice to come in. Valise going for the big walls here. Not the greatest ones when it comes to like stone efficiency, but will wall behind it and the raid won't go through.
I like it, because one of the biggest things that can shift the tide of a game is if you lose trade, you lose pretty much all your momentum behind it until you step back up. They know this. They equated for it. They had the wall. They weren't going to let the game go down to a silly little raid, and that's what's happened here. Viper trying to find some... But look at them. The Paladins are on production at the moment, going to chase these guys down. Mangadai finally getting all the upgrades on them, so they're ready to step into the fight. But look at the headway Valise is making.
Oh man, he's just pushing forward so nicely. He has 4 traps as well, some siege rams behind that, and that's just so tricky to stop. Yeah, Elite Chukunu is the best option, but look at that Doubt without rocketry, without Elite. This is just getting so tricky, and well, 70 military at the moment for Valise. Just so tricky to stop. Viper is making a go here, but that's not going to be super efficient. Just some onagers would be so nice against the army of Valise here.
Well, that's it. If we can see the Viper tech into some siege behind that, something the Mongols are very, very well known for. If they can get those answers in there, it might be a good situation. But right now, Viper going into Hussar, maybe hinting at that he is a little bit low in terms of his gold count. Having a look around on the map, he's got a couple of piles left, but it looks like the rest will be pretty much relying on trade.
Oh yeah, well, let's take a look. Another go here from Valise, and Doubt. Well, one castle protecting exactly the trade that you just mentioned. We now have another go at the left-hand side from the Max towards all the castles. Viper, well, he can still defend this quite nicely with mango dice, but just losing castles is so tricky for them. And now the Max is in the trade. This might be the GG.
Oh man, looking at that, that could absolutely be the GG. If they stop the gold count here, the momentum going to fall with it. And those Paladins, like we were saying, such high HP, such high armor, they can just soak up the damage. Even looking at the front of Viper's base here, this just trebuchets nailing away at it. The Paladins are slowly getting in and beginning to raid. When you're raiding with Paladins, that's when you know you're in a good spot.
And, well, Traps are moving forward. Doubt, I don't think that he can hold with this castle. They're actually switching away now. That Doubt is going for the cavalry attack. And we see the elite mango dive from the Viper, which obviously is kind of tricky to transition into without having a drop in your military. And that's why we see Doubt going down to pop 100. GG. Suomi, they take the 2-0 lead here. Who would have expected that?
Man, that was a phenomenal game overall. We did see such a good play from Secret at the start there. They had the entirety of map control. But end of the day, Suomi just sat back. They knew how to play this one out. They defended perfectly. They didn't lose any more units than they had to. And from that, they were up into Imperial, and then they made their move when they needed. And pretty much from Imperial, that's where Secret basically struggled to get back into the game.
Oh, what a lovely one for sure. Mongols and Chinese, they feel really strong, but seeing that game, the late Imp army composition felt kind of underwhelming.
Well, that's it. What were they going to kind of move into? You saw at the end into Mangadai, and then from there, that really meant we needed the switch from basically Doubt into Cavalier, so they had some kind of bulk behind it. I guess that's the thing. Maybe they just didn't have the bulk to kind of take any of the arrow fire from Valise, and they couldn't really fight into it.
Maybe some onagers could have been nice, right? But even then, Paladins can always snipe them. Pretty well played by the Max and Belize, although facing Mongols to not take that much damage. And they were in a tricky spot where Doubt and Viper were in between them so often, but nicely walled themselves up and didn't take a lot of damage.
Nah, perfectly played. That's what we expect to see in a game like this. Such an early, just looking at the stats, such an early feudal time there for Viper, ahead by more than a minute. That's crazy to think about.
Yeah, and he got all the map control for that, but did he really get the kills? I think we saw the first kill quite late. Viper had the better numbers, had bloodlines there, but the Max transitioned into Castle Age quite nicely, as we saw a solid minute earlier there. And, well, the first big fight really took some time here.
Man, what a perfect play by both teams. It's sad it ended out the way it did. We've got a 2-0 going on right now. We are in a best of 5, which means we have one game potentially left if Winland decide to bring this one home. End of the day, though, you can never count Secret out and down for the count, because this is how they play, guys. They are here to win it.
Absolutely, and obviously, like, those two guys are just so crazy. They're, well, so known for winning Doubt and Viper, potentially the best 2v2 team in the world. But, well, we just saw that that's really just potentially, because at the moment the Max and Belize, they looked damn strong.
There we go. What are we going to see from here? Nilly, what have we got?
Maybe you want to increase your voice activation or decrease your voice activation a bit more. You're sometimes still cutting out, my friend. And
I can do that for you.
Oh, thanks. And for 2,000 people on the stream, next map will be Saltmarsh. We saw a beautiful Vikings play earlier from Secret. Let's see what they will have in store for us in the next game. I will give the ready and no waiting time, jumping into game number 3 here in the finals, 2v2 ECL East Asia stage.
Ooh, I'm excited. Let's do this thing. What did we have? Did we have some...
Ah, you're still cutting out.
Ah!
Ah! Just take 30 seconds, no problem.
All right, how's that? Is that any better?
Oh, yeah. I think it just cut out sometimes at the end of sentences.
All right, well, I'll make sure to talk much louder if that's the case. Let's have a look at what we've got here. Towards, I guess, kind of the west and north of the map, we've got the Max as the Indians playing as the Teal. His ally in this game, of course, going to be Valise towards the north of the map, playing as the Mayans in the grey. Who else have we got, Nelly?
Oh man, interesting civilizations. We have the Viper playing Mayans here as well, and Doubt picking Indians. So we will see a complete mirror matchup here. And, well, we already saw that on Mongolia in the earlier series today, and Viper, he just knew how to play those Mayans to perfection.
Alrighty, let's have a look. So this is a map we have seen too much in competitive play, I would say, just because of the kind of build of it, the way it kind of sits. Until now, it's really been on the back burner in a lot of tournaments, just because the map can spawn some very, very unusual kind of builds. And I believe that's been changed a lot, kind of in terms of the way it actually spawns in, so we don't see any kind of ridiculous amounts at the moment. But still, looking at it, the Max in the back of his base, he does have kind of some puddles there. No fish in there really kind of to make a difference at the moment. So really, it's looking pretty minimal in terms of who can get an advantage out of this.
Yeah, map looks indeed pretty fair, I'd say. And yeah, as you said, the map got a major makeover. The old Saltmarsh, the original Ensemble Studios version, was a super unfair. One side always had fish, the other one didn't. Your boom was just, yeah, very nice, and one side wasn't, and therefore not really seen in the competitive scene. Now, after the expansions came out, we had the whole makeover without any fish, really.
Which, end of the day, is not exactly a bad thing. It just adds maps to the pool that we can move into tournaments like this, make things a little bit more interesting. Probably the big thing going to note, the amount of shallows that are kind of walkable shallows, I should say, they're in the center of the map here. So it means you can't really wall off that center. The control can go to anyone. However, looking at the map and the tree placements, you can see that you can wall off your base quite easily. The only downside to it is it's usually quite a small area. So it means crossbows, archers can usually shoot over the edges and manage to get some villager picks. So you really can't afford to lose map control. But what's your thoughts, Neely?
Yeah, that's true. You cannot wall yourself too small, especially if you play against Mayans that always will build range units. And well, Viper did something beautiful the last time and just walled a bit bigger than necessary, had some safe wood lines, so that was a nice adjustment. Also nice is that Veliz will get an extra boar for himself.
Ooh, that's really nice, actually. Man, that's how it's done, guys. Look at that. The steal, in it comes. This is good stuff, guys. Just looking at this play out overall, Veliz going to be in a great situation here, especially as the Mayans getting that extra lasting resources. Any kind of just huge input he can kind of gain, whether it be boar, deer, it all matters that much extra. So having that situation for him at the moment, absolutely phenomenal.
Could Veliz actually scout his other boar? Oh no, he has no idea. So it won't be an extra boar. He will just play with 2 and Viper will play with 1. I tried to search for it as well a bit. All of his vision here at the left-hand side.
Man, that's actually phenomenal. He's going to scout out and find it and bring it in, or if he's just going to kind of go for it at this stage. Obviously using the Eagle Warrior, or Eagle Scout there, I should say, to kind of push these deer and getting a little bit of a bonus there as well. But Viper, let's see how he kind of recovers from this one. He's sending more villagers over to berries. He's got a couple on hunt as well. So it looks like he's going to kind of maneuver his economy around this. It looks like he's relatively prepared. But Doubt already clicking up to Feudal Age.
Yeah, he is going for the early scout here. Pop 19 from our Indian player. That's quite early and will be quite scary for sure. Viper, he is getting 3 deer for himself. That's kind of okay, and yeah, even a bit better when it comes to pure numbers compared to a boar. And well, so he will be fine. Let's take a look. Veliz, that looks like Drush FC to me, and with his defensive stone spot, maybe even Drush FC into plumes.
Man, if he can Drush FC into plumes, that's going to be the beautiful setup. That's the dream setup you want as the Mayans. If he can manage to pull that one off, this is going to be a tense game to kind of deal with behind this. Because end of the day, we do have very, very similar civs. In fact, I think we've got basically the same overall. So looking at really, really strong here. And whoever can get off to the better start, whoever can gain that momentum, that's where things are really going to kind of come into it.
And yeah, that's most likely what we will see. Plume Darts is here, and maybe the same for the Viper, who's going for the big walls, now goes on to gold in the back. And well, it most likely should be scout against scout here. The Max just ready for his stable as well. And yeah, so no surprises here. Feels very much like a mirror, except the Drush from Veliz.
Let's have a look here. How's that Drush doing? It's managing. It's just getting onto Viper. It looks like Viper is already just about fully walled. Is finishing that one off. And Villager having to fight a wolf down the bottom, but finishing that one off here now, so the Drush won't be too effective. Could potentially keep Viper at bay, though. That is what we're looking for here more with the Drush. Just making sure Viper can't move too quickly, making sure that he can't get any map control, and that's where the Drush is really kind of coming into the advantage here. Doubt starting to get his scouts out, so we'll be able to do a little bit of damage. Does have his defensive spear out as well already, so he is expecting that play back. from the Max.
Well, let's see. Both going for scouts, nothing too surprising here. Oh, but big stone walls here by the Max, something I didn't really see coming. And he walls himself quite big. Interesting play. So why is he doing that?
I guess he just really doesn't want to trade it. But said, I guess they're 2 up at this point in the tournament. They don't want to give Secret any chance kind of in a comeback. If they can close the lid on this one, they're going to be singing absolutely happy right now. But yeah, that's a lot of commitment, isn't it?
Oh, well, let's see. Speaking of commitment, the Rush is now being lost against Doubt here at the front. He is going for the perfect clear. 4-0 kills so far. Could mean that the Max...
That's good play.
Might be having some better options. And the problem for the Max is still, what goal is he going for? The one at the front, even though it's stonewalled, feels kind of exposed.
Let's have a little bit of a look around here. Doubt going out with pretty much his full walls right now. Only said, of course, we have Viper pretty much full walling in behind this one as well. Both the Secret guys playing it quite safe. No reason to play an open game at the moment when you're 2 down. You may as well kind of try and hammer that one as much as possible. Looking over at Valise, walls as well. So here's nice and defensive setup. Only palisades again. However, looking over at the Max, he is just about fully walled again. But look at these stone walls. He is ready for anything that these guys can throw at him.
Oh, Doubt trying to save his scout, will lose his one, but will get all 3 scouts in exchange there. Maybe the only goal for the Max is to catch 1 more villager. Won't really get that done though. And Doubt with a solid defense for sure. Will we see a sling in this one?
That would be really interesting actually. I don't think we've seen much of his. I think in the last game we saw 1,000 get sent around, but nothing major from there. Viper into stage, so he's going to get that one, I guess, pretty quickly. And actually the first one up, believe it or not, really kind of expecting it from Valise. But here we go, Market Blacksmith happening for Valise, and behind that as well, looks like we've still got the Max. He's sitting on his scouts, even though he's lost pretty much everything. I don't know exactly what he's going to go into from here, but he has surrendered the map control to Doubt.
Well, but is it really too important? The Maxi will be up to Castle Age a bit quicker, and, well, Blacksmith in the back. Valise plays his normal Josh FC. He is on stone. Viper, we are kind of expecting the same indeed, so no surprises there. And well, this one should play out as a full mirror. The question is only, do we see some sling onto Marions? Doubt now sending villagers onto stone. Quite surprising to me.
Doubt going to stone. That's really interesting. Actually, I'm not sure exactly what he's going for here. Looking over at Valise, obviously on stone, playing as the Mayans, wants to get that castle up. Viper looking around as well, couple stone, obviously, playing as the Mayans, wants to get that castle up. Valise at this point in time, what are you really looking at here? Looks like you're going to stone as well, so every player on stone at the moment.
Yeah, well, the Max I can understand because he wants to get his TCs up in the long run, but Doubt he didn't invest too much into stone. Maybe just wants to build more stone walls here and then clicks up, and Doubt now with the market sends some more on stone. He will be up to Castle Age quite later though, compared to the Max, who maybe should get the boom advantage again. And look at that. That's a big difference between how Suomi is playing and how we saw the series before here from Secret against Frantic. The Max, he will just go for the pure boom. And I expect Valise to also add at least 1 TC, maybe 2 TCs quite quickly. They realize this is full stone walls. We won't do any damage in Castle Age. It's all about who arrives in earliest with the best eco.
Absolutely, and then who can basically throw the most units to victory at that point, basically. We do have already the from Valise, like you said, we've got the town center coming gold in the back there. So getting that one up nice and early behind it. Looking around the map as well, who else we got? Viper's down for town center. Same with the castle, so both players there that are playing 1 town center extra, then adding the castle as well. So looking like in a good situation there. Going to be able to boom up behind. Going to be able to get their plumes out as well. So really looking at that military unit. Checking out Doubt, still on his way up to Castle Age, but still on stone. So looking like we are going to see the same kind of situation. And there's a double town center from the Max as well. So looking at going for that big power play at the moment. But a 4 tower from Doubt, actually.
Yeah, and that's why he went onto stone. Actually not really walling that tower properly though. left hand or bottom can still be accessed, so that might be somewhat of a slip up here. And well, it will just be the boom. The tower itself is pretty nice, controlling 2 of the gold spots though.
What else have we got? A market going down for the max as well, so trying to juggle, balance it out a little bit and just kind of help himself out here. The plume numbers, as we expected, is going to slowly increase the entire length of the game at this point. I don't think anyone really has push out, and against stone walls as well makes it very, very hard. I don't think anyone's eco is kind of too close at the moment to the walls. Looking at the max though, his stone, his gold, all those could kind of be hit, but that's really about all I'm kind of starting to see apart from the lumber lines. But there we go, food getting sent over to Valise. Be seeing a sling behind.
Let's take a look. It's 3 TCs and well, kind of a likely scenario here. Let's see if Doubt is going for something as well. I expect him to drop down 2 TCs first as well, goes for all the eco upgrades, and maybe then something stays onto stone. Kind of surprising to me. Could maybe go for 4 TC as well. Sling onto Marian's just so strong.
Here we go, and there we go, more gold coming across to Valise as well. It looks like we know exactly what's going on. We are going to see that sling, so really this should end up a very controlling position for Valise quite quickly here. The question is, will they catch onto it, and will Secret react to it appropriately? Because really, one slinged player, if they get up into Imperial, they get their upgrades nice and early. One Trebuchet, Chem, that little bit of extra armor, that little bit of extra damage output. This is where it makes a huge difference. So let's have a look, see if we can see anything, spot anything from Secret.
Well, they are going for the sling as well, 4 TC for Doubt, so it will be very similar strategies here. Somewhat of a boom, somewhat of a sling towards the Marian's player. Now getting University in the back here. We should see continued sling from the Max as well, indeed. And well, that will be mass plumes against mass plumes. And again, the question, who gets onto more ramps? And the question this time, could we maybe see some big demo hits against plumes?
Whoa, if we see the demo hits, I would be super excited about that. That's what I'm all about when it comes here, more thing. So if we can figure that one out, that'd be fantastic.
Well, we might get our wish granted. Let's take a look. Viper is clearly aware of that on this map, and we will see how it's going to be played out. Viper now moving out here, builds one mining camp, tries to go into that stone and gold. Maybe could have made an argument for a forced TC here. Not that he really needs a forced TC for villager production, but just to have those villagers a bit more safe. Now goes on to ballistic. The question is, who will get imp quicker? Viper, 200 food, 300 gold. Valise, 400 food, 600 gold. Should be somewhat even.
Oh man, this should just be really, really tense in general here at the moment. Being able to see both players kind of move up and then Imperial about the same time means we should be down for one big hell of a game, because we should just see 2 massive mine armies exploding against each other. Obviously, we're going to start seeing the siege get moved in as well to soak up that arrow armor. All that damage that we can kind of see go through, and this is where it really counts to see who gets the best sling. And basically, once it comes down to that, it's going to be all in the micromanagement. Who goes for the better strategies? Who goes for it? This is what this real-time strategy is all about, guys. If we see it move to this level, we are all going to be just having a witness of awesome gameplay, just absolute stellar gameplay.
Well, let's see. At the moment, I like the move out from the Viper. We see Valise up to Castle. Valise, does he know about the stone and gold here at the front? He could maybe go for it. A castle here for Viper, and maybe one guy in blue could be pretty happy about this one. Ah, not really. Valise, he's too cautious. Wants to make sure that his castle won't be a Doubt castle.
Look at this, guys. This is where we know the level are at. Both players putting the castle down in relatively the same position. They've got their units there, both defending. We're seeing pretty much the same play from both people here, and this is phenomenal. Seeing gameplay of this higher caliber be matched against each other, fantastic. Viper looks like he's going out, trying to get a little bit of raiding in here. I don't think he's really going to find it. Doubt has scouted the palisades on this side, but the houses there potentially going to be enough wall, so Viper won't be able to get through.
Max so far did sling a bit more, and Viper is up a bit later for that. And well, this is going to be tricky. Do players know about that castle? Not really yet. So trap war, well, might take a bit of time before they really go into it. Oh, but now it's spotted.
Valise is kind of moving out. He's going to see the castle. He's seen it there, so he knows he needs to get the trebs out now. And if he does get him out nice and early, he is going to have a limited time. He can actually get the advantage out and try and get some extra damage on there. Viper, though, knowing exactly what's about to happen, gets both his siege workshops down on the front, so he's going to be able to get those rams to the front line very, very quickly. Same thing goes for Valise, though. Right behind the castle, up comes it.
Lovely move here, and the double siege workshop. Now you kind of want even the slinger to switch the eco a bit away. You don't really need much more food. You mainly need wood now, because those rams, they are so costly when it comes to wood.
Absolutely, and to see basically the eco get built up behind this, man, this is what we are after, guys. We might get one absolutely massive game out of this, even if Secret loses, but hopefully they manage to get it and we go to a 5-game series. That is the absolute dream here, to see these guys clash on 5 different occasions. More and more plumed archers, of course, from both players. Valise, here we go, though. Bracer, capped ram, he's got chemistry on the way, conscription, getting everything he needs to basically be ready for this one.
This is the calm before the storm. Trap production now starts. Viper, he could be in some troubles there with the plumes at the front. Goes for 4 siege workshops, and this could be a repeat here. Another castle in the back. It's just so important that Valise is getting his numbers up. Yeah, he will have capped rams against battering rams. No real dogs here this far. Viper, he cannot really fight this off against Bracer. This castle needs to be deleted.
Looking at the counts, we've only got 33 military on the field for Valise. However, we have a whopping 50 from the Viper, so he does have the advantage. If he unites his forces like he's doing now, could potentially take this engagement as soon as he hits Imperial. Just needs to run away for now, needs to wait off until chemistry, all his extra resources are in, and he can get all his extra researchers from there. No elite plumed archer, however, from Valise yet, but that's about to kick in for Viper, and here's the engagement.
He gets all the upgrade in. Lead plumed archer indeed is going for Bracer as well. Chemistry is coming around, and he's just looking so good with his plumed archer numbers. Rams now coming to the front. We try to see some quick words from Valise, but villagers were at the wrong side. Let's take a look if he can block this area off. It doesn't really look like it. That's a nice push here for the Viper. It will be siege rams for Valise though pretty quickly. The castle will survive. That was quite unfortunate for Valise, not really protecting his traps here.
Valise missing a lot of key upgrades here, though. Doesn't have elite plumed archer, 15 less health, 1 less armor on those guys as well, plus lacking in terms of the range overall. We've actually got a siege tower out from Valise here as well. Misclick, or is he actually going for a garrison here? We'll find out in 1 sec. That said, however, the siege rams tearing apart these battering rams very, very quickly. And come on, siege tower, get in there. We need you in this fight. But looking at this, Viper having so many more units and that elite plumed archer making such a difference here.
Oh, and Valise, if only ungarrisoned his rams a bit earlier. Why did they need to be in the siege workshop? They could have been a bit further in the back there and just try to engage with them. At the moment, all the plumed archers sitting under the castle are pretty fine, and the rams not really doing the damage here for Valise. Viper is just pushing this so much better. It's now taking for siege ram as well. 4 siege workshops just producing for him so nicely, without even reinforcing with 1 monk here. And the numbers are just out of this world. 45 military for Viper, 25 only for Valise.
This is where things start to go down very, very quickly. As soon as you start to get that momentum, you can start taking down the Mayan castles. As that happens, they can't really hold off with their units composition because they don't have the units in play they need to. Looking at this, only 26 military compared to the 46 of Viper. Elite plumed archer finally done for Valise here as well. But look at this, Viper is up onto siege rams as well. This is going to be absolutely devastating if he can't hold this first push.
No, I wouldn't really know how. Siege workshops now super exposed, doesn't really have enough gold to go for the big productions. Just going on the back a bit more. Some team wall from the max here. They don't really have the greatest map control to go for all the trade setup. Something that the secret boys are already thinking about. And well, this push just looks lethal.
Look at that. Viper's up in the front there. He's just about ready to go, but looking down over towards the max. Those stables, it looks like he's getting his units out. Indians, we know what we're going to see. We're going to see Imperial, we're going to see Heavy Camel, we're going to see Imperial Camel. Once it gets to that stage, it looks like he should be able to get in there, do some raiding. Siege Workshop already up on the front, in front of Doubt there as well. But look at this. There's the walls from the max. Not going to happen. And in comes the raiding force.
So unfortunately, let's take a look. Maybe a good manual hit here. Well, that was a good one when it comes to HP. Can you get another one? Looks like a solid one, and 1 manual actually killing some plumed archers. It's something we don't see too often. Solid hits here for sure, and he has to be happy with that outcome. Doubt and the max now taking to heavy camels, trying to give some help, but it's still looking very dicey at Valise front.
Oh man, I'm just looking at all these archers running around from Viper right now. The only problem I'm thinking is they get stuck between something, but look at this. The numbers are getting closer and closer every minute. Up come the gate, and it looks like we might potentially get some extra walls, but there go the villagers. Going to take them out, of course, very, very easily, and moving into the economy. Looks like we might potentially see the engagement here. Viper's going to take it.
Oh, is that the best thing? I think, well, he was kind of forced into because the trap behind it was ready. And that's still a reasonable fight. I believe maybe you could go for some debation plume dodges in between there, but it would just be the clear up, something that Viper has to take. He is more worried about the attack at the front. It's looking pretty good there for him.
Oh, absolutely. Doing a great job on this side of thing. Losing a lot of army in the back there, but still looking at his numbers. 45 military still out in the field. For Valise, we're only seeing 40. Back home, we do have Oniga Tech, though, from Valise as well, so potentially going to get some good hits in there. That said, though, the Plumed Archers with their massive 65 hit points can take one or more straight away.
Onage attack now for Valise. That could actually be really good against mass ram, mass plumed archers, but you need to get the connections there in Viper. Well, he's just too active, too good at defending this. Meanwhile, we had the Max with a very ambitious castle, got completely knifed out now, and the solid 40 heavy camels and soon to be M camels as well.
That is so many camels out in play. I just kind of moved down as you're talking about the castle and just saw these camels surrounding it. And that's what I knew. Maybe right now the Max, you're in a little bit of trouble here. The Max just going up into Imperial Camel here as well. How are we looking in terms of military count? 16 for the Max, 40 for Doubt. I don't know how he's going to hold that one. I wish him all the luck. I hope he manages to, but right now, going to be in trouble.
Well, Valise is sending over some Plume Darters at least to help. Doing 4 damage per shot here is something that he can probably accept next to villagers, but then goes back. The castle of the Max will fall. No upgrades on those, and Doubt, I think he will kill the Max. Meanwhile, Viper is looking pretty good against Valise though.
That's it. This has moved from one slung player into essentially 2 1v1s at this stage. We've got a little bit of help from each team over on the other side, but look at this. In come the trebuchets, taking down that castle so quickly. The Imperial Camels off the back of here as well, so we're going to see them clash against each other. But end of the day, Doubt just has so many more numbers right now.
Okay, now moving in, we see kind of moving at both flanks, and the Maxi is just being forced back. No chance to ever take any good engagement here. Both of his gold spots very exposed there, as we saw earlier. Not really getting into the numbers. GG, and we aren't seeing the sweep. 2-1. Now the score. Secret with a strong play. Again, was it the Siege Ram numbers? I think so.
Oh man, we know exactly how that works. When you manage to start to get those villagers, I guess villagers into combat, you're pulling them away from castles, from repairs to deal with those. You're soaking up arrow fire behind that as well, and then you're taking out their production buildings on top of it. They just work as a phenomenal tank. So seeing them basically be utilized so quickly, both players teched up into them, basically right at the start of Imperial. They knew this is exactly how it needed to go down. So both players basically seeing what needed to be done here and doing a great job of it.
Oh man, so lovely, and well, the Viper just so good at executing this, and really the experience and the knowledge how to play this out. Let's take a look at the achievements. I really want to see the timeline, early Imperial Age for both players as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think at the end of the day as well, the big thing that really helped the Viper, and I guess Secret out there as well, was having that elite Plumed Archer upgrade so early, having the extra armor, the extra health, having the extra range. It all added up so quickly. He could just take so much more damage behind that as well and dish out so much more.
KD pretty even here, but a larger army though for the Snake, and well, he got a bit more gold and a bit more wood. Let's take a look at the sling statistics here as well. Well, quite even. That feels wrong. 6k, 6k. I thought it was way higher in the overlay. Let me return. That's something I rarely do. Didn't the overlay say they slung more? No, I can't go into that again. Okay, my bad. My bad. So, 6k, 6k. Trust the numbers, guys. And so, very even. I think it's the received resources, right? Yeah. So they slung like 9k and received 6k. Yeah. Okay, that makes a bit more sense. Okay. Yeah, that's why I was confused. Okay, Doubt even collecting 4 relics for himself. And the timeline, as we saw earlier, well, Valise breaking in a bit. The Viper just super stable and took the big fights.
All right, I believe we've got at least potentially 2 more left in this series, as it's being a best of 5. So we could potentially get another 2 games. We take it to a 2 each final. I would be excited. It goes either way at that point. Secret still have some work to do here, but as we know, as such a strong team, they've got the option to make it happen. What are your thoughts, Nilly? What do you think we're going to see from this?
Wow, Team Causeway, a map that never really has been played on too many competitive games. It is really tricky. It kind of feels like Team Islands, but then it's not Team Islands. So let's take a close look into this one. Generally, in new scenarios, Secret really shines.
Well, that's it. The level of training they go to on the maps when they start to actually kind of move out, they really kind of focus in on these, figure out the team strategies they can really kind of work with. Anyway, I'll introduce the first set of players and we'll move from there. We have the Max yet again playing in his trademark teal as the Vikings. His ally for this game, of course, going to be Valise playing as the Mongols in the grey. Nilly, what's the rest of the lineup?
We have 2 Vikings on this field because the Viper is taking Vikings as well. On the other side, we have Doubt playing Japanese. So what we're kind of expecting is an early dock here from Mongols and Japanese playing some fire galleys quite aggressively. And Vikings, well, maybe back dock, maybe side dock and try to get onto galleys, maybe in the long run, long boats. And for everyone who doesn't know this map, it's basically Team Islands, but we have some passings here. So, you need to control this quite a lot.
Excellent. Let's have a look at this one overall. So you were saying earlier in the, basically before we kind of jumped into the match, this has been a map that hasn't really been too explored. It hasn't been used in a lot of competitive games and it's generally not seen too much in the kind of random map pool that we're seeing, what we're following on Foobly, any of the kind of the managed tournament platforms. So I guess if you were playing this one and you were kind of looking at the map, analyzing it, what's the best way to go around it? Are we playing more like Team Islands, for instance? Or is it going to be more of something where we're looking for a landing, or is it going to all come down to that water control?
Well, as I said, it's not really figured out yet. The lucky thing for Team Secret is actually they only need to wall 2 passings and are completely walled. On the other side, the Max, he needs, or no, Valise needs to wall a big one in the center, one towards the Viper, and the Max needs to wall one towards Doubt. So that's just something to notice. And to answer your question, I'd kind of play it like Team Islands, only with the possibility of a boar steal. Look at the Max.
So you'd go for kind of that early water control, really kind of hammer that one home, and then eventually either outdo them on the water and just basically bring it to a situation where you've got enough galleys around the side, they can't really kind of expand their eco, can't really push out behind, then eventually go for the land with the ending finisher on it.
Yeah, well, if you follow water control, it's just so nice. And then you can push over and over again. And, well, longboats can control all the passings, so it's tough to really lose land once you control the water. So I feel wins the water 90% of the time, wins the game.
Yeah, absolutely. On a map like this where the control matters so much as well, because your ecos can kind of just sit behind it, I guess, is probably the big thing to look at. What have we got overall? I think we had everyone except Doubt begin to throw their docks up. Doubt actually already scouting his opponents, so already over there trying to figure out what's going on. It looks like we've got the Max there towards the east side of the island. We have, we have Elise towards the south side, just south of his town center there. And then looking at Viper towards that, again, eastern corner there overall. And Doubt going for the back dock, actually, maybe playing a little bit more defensively.
I think that was adjusted to the boar loss because he started this with 275 wood on the back. Even goes for the mill now, so he goes for a weird build-up. That has to be something out of the typical I go for fire galley meta. Maybe something like fast castle even.
Aren't we going to see some secret magic, you think? Something they've been working on in, secret, to be able to figure this one out, which is kind of what they've done for a lot of tournaments in the past. They've had that one kind of strategy that they keep secret up between them. They don't really let anyone know it's coming, then all of a sudden they pull it out in the finals and everyone's like, oh no, what's happening here?
Well, we will see what's happening here. We see at least the side dock for the Viper, and at least he could go for some aggression. Goes for the transporter, so that's going to be some land aggression here as well. And they are not safe on land, basically anywhere.
All right, looking around at the moment. The wall is up from the Max, looking down. Doubt not really looking like he's too worried about it. Viper getting his wall up defensively as well. Valise has already walled off one of the entrances. Looks like he's about to go ahead with the other one here as well.
And that's a big one, man. So unfortunate for him. Scout doing some shenanigans here. Valise, he will be up earliest. Viper with the 10-6 timing, quite okay as well. We'll go for some more side docking, and we're expecting him to go for full water. No idea what Doubt is up to. Adds a force fishing ship, and well, I'm still kind of expecting something like Fast Castle. Has a lot of IDTC. Horrible start for him after the boss deal against him.
Whoa, that's absolutely brutal. I am loving what we're seeing here, however. Man, on a map like this, like you were saying, you could potentially go Team Islands with the boss deal, and that's exactly what we saw.
Well, I said it after I saw it, so kind of...
Alright, you cheated. You cheated. I would have taken it. You should have just ran with it.
No. Okay, so now a sneaky landing here in between the opponents, and Belize, he has to be happy with that placement, right? He will block everything. Doubt, what is this villager doing of Doubt?
What is this villager up to? Why are you there?
Maybe he wants to redock. I think he just wants to redock in the very house. And he's going for the barracks. No idea. At least he confirms the double. Oh boy, but he's running into 3 wolves here. If he goes to the right-hand side, Belize could pick that one off as well. But he doesn't really want to show the scout. Although, well, it's not really too much of a sign. They just could have gone on the other side. Doubt didn't wall at all. And, well, he will get the dog up pretty safe though. And we see scouts from Belize.
Man, this is really interesting seeing that landing so early. But there we go. Viper's seen it. He knows it's there now. We've got the units there, and look at this. Valise, he's got his scouts in play. He's got 2 of them. Will they be able to deal with it in time and end of the day as well? Will it mean they both commit a little bit too hard? Secret generally very, very good with their commitment, their responses. But end of the day, if they commit into it a little bit too much, we could potentially see the Max take the water very, very quickly by himself.
Oh, we'll see about that, right? Japanese fishing ship obviously having an amount of HP, so they can defend this potentially. Viper now with the quick walls seems to be kind of safe on land. Now needs to wall the top. Good reaction by him. Doubt. I'm not really sure what he's up to. Okay, goes scouts on his home island. What a weird defense, but a good one against Veli's aggression.
He's got the spear out as well, so he should be able to deal with this quite effectively. We've got a tower coming up there from Valise as well. Viper going to power his up a little bit earlier, so obviously the tower going to take some time. And man, that is so close to finish, but I don't think there's much you can really do about it. Those villagers on such low HP at this stage. Is Viper just going to rush the tower? Looks like he's going to wall it in.
Interesting that he feels like he has the time to do that, and well, will be successful with that. So nice move there for sure. Won't fear any shenanigans that later on the tower might go up. So nice move for sure. The lead's now going on to archers. Doubt meanwhile walls himself up quite nicely as well. And well, they shouldn't take too much damage.
We've got the Max straight into galley production. Obviously, you'd just expect it being a Vikings player. Same thing goes for Viper overall. It looks like we can see quite a few more out in play, however, for the Max already. So starting to get that military advantage. We do have 4 out in play for Viper, and then we've got 9 out in play for the Max. So looking pretty good there. And looking down at the back as well, the Max has already moved out and even starting to push in against Doubt's economy there.
Now, let's take a look. Doubt, does he get a fire galley out? Yeah, he will get one. Oh. Max patrol a bit too short, trying to snipe one of the villagers. Maybe he can get through here. Gives Willis the sign. Okay, you can still get through that opening. Oh, nice coincidence for them.
This is looking really good at the moment, actually, for the way that Secret have defended this. They're not really losing too much against this. They've committed the resources from Valise, so Valise isn't really on the water much at all. Unless Valise can kind of make some damage here, maybe the landing may not pay off how they were expecting it to. Obviously kind of moving to that archery range very, very early, so they've done a good job to kind of make that transition. But the Max, are you going to be able to hold the water on your own? That is the question here.
Well, let's take a look. At the moment, he's not really that contested, right? Viper needed to wall quite a bit, needed to get the defensive tower up. Scouts are in his home base, so it's not like a clear 1v1, and maybe that demo can even get some hits off. Oh, that was a good one, because the 2 galleys blocked themselves. 2 HP and 24 HP, just barely surviving.
Oh man, that's what you want to see. That's such an effective demo. These are really the answers we're looking for. And looks like we're seeing a little bit of that scout warfare go down. Vali's taking out a couple more as well, really making Gout commit here to the scouts, slowly taking them out, using the hill bonus as best they can. And there we go, Blacksmith coming up. Looks like we are getting a couple of these walls off, but Vali still has that scout out in play, running around just trying to do damage wherever he can.
Just got another kill, and Viper, he's being forced away from his fishing ships, and well, not Fire Galley Mounts of Doubt, not really that scary. The Max is coming around, and just a tricky spot here. Whew, I need to get more defense here. Eco not that great. Doubt with a lot of floating resources, maybe wants to go for a market and juggle a bit. It just feels like the Max should maybe be dominating this game here with the Vikings, and completely uninterrupted this far.
Oh, look at this at the moment, taking out so many extra things, and there's a little bit of a tribute from Doubt to the Viper as well. I wonder if we're going to see a sling again.
Well, it already is a sling, so yeah, that's what we are seeing. And Viper, well, he will most likely just go on to the longbow transition then.
Look, the math checks out. Absolutely is sling at this stage. The Max moving up to Castle Age as well. Looks like he's doing a good job kind of moving around, just taking out any units he can. Being up into Castle Age nice and early as well means he will be able to get the advantage when it comes to War Galley. But look at that. Viper right behind him here overall. Viper moving out, kind of taking, I would say, the middle of the map here really by storm. There's nothing really to oppose him in here for the Max. The Max really kind of sitting behind at the moment, trying to do as much damage to the eco as he can, and it's slowly but surely going ahead here, doing the damage wherever he can, but from there, figuring it out, doing a little bits of damage, running away, hit and run, and Valise, those archers are out in play, but he hasn't really been able to find much to do here.
Well, he is trying to go over to Doubts now, which still isn't walled, and I'm a bit surprised that he didn't try to really get that much rolling for himself. He's getting attacked on the land though. 3 scouts are coming over. Doubt, is he finding some more kills? He will lose at least 1 scout, or will he? Yeah, we'll lose 1, we'll lose 2, we'll lose 3, won't pull back, and killed, I believe, only 1 villager in exchange. Not the greatest hits, and now the forces of the Max are looking really scary.
Here we go, coming down the back, the Eco Highway at the moment for Team Secret. Moving in through, we're just about to hit Castle Age, so hopefully by the time he hits any of these fire galleys, should be in a position to get the War Galley upgrade and really kind of do some damage from there overall. Viper, as we know, pretty much, he has been such a strong water player for just so many years now. Maybe we'll see a Viper miracle here on the water, but I'm not sure right now that Max is putting himself and his entire team here in a good position. And I shouldn't just say the Max, because this comes down to the fact Release has moved forward. It may not seem like he's doing much damage here, but end of the day, look at the commitment he's pulled out of Secret to defend this one.
And it's just a beautiful thing that he's in between both of them. Means that both of them kind of need to react, and, well, both of them can't underreact, both of them can't overreact, just forcing so many mistakes from the enemy team for now. Secret reacted quite nicely though. But Doubt, he will lose all his fish in the back now.
There we go. At the same time, though, we do have Viper coming up around the north side of the map here, wrapping around, could potentially get to some of the fishing ships. The Max doing a good job pulling him out of the way, but War Galleys for the Max as well. War Galleys for Viper. We're going to potentially have to see some units here from the Max to be able to hold this one, but look at this around the side here. These fishing ships from Doubt just getting pushed completely out of the situation, and look at that, even denying another dock there on 98%.
Kind of feels Doubt, man. 37 villagers for him. He's just running with his fishing ships at the moment. Viper is ready there to defend. Meanwhile, the Max actually saved all his fishing ships. We don't really see any left from Belize. The question is, what will we see on land? Belize even building a TC in between their bases there. Doubt he's going for more knights. Can he find any damage, or will it simply be to defend?
Both players taking into longboats here as well. This is where Viper may absolutely kind of start showing his miracle on water. Obviously, the movement speed and the smaller kind of unit here going to make it so much easier for him to kind of micro around. And I believe we have already seen ballistics in play for Viper. That said, the Max getting it on the way. But look at this. He's trying to hunt these guys down as best as possible. Whoever gets the advantage here is going to have a massive fish boom opportunity for the rest of the game.
Yeah, we'll see. in the long run, Team Islands obviously can get raided over and over again, and it's not like you will always have it safe. It's so easy to redock at some spots. I think the most important thing is that Velise is doing major damage here against Doubt on land. Simply Camel Crossman a bit better than what Doubt can offer at the moment, which looks like mainly Knights.
We've even got a couple of longboats from the Max sitting around the outside there, making sure those villagers can't get all the wood they need to be able to continue producing. Town center coming up, but again, looking at this, the camels versus the knights, we know how that goes. The crossbows behind it as well to kind of back it up, make sure we can get in there and do the damage. And man, this is looking bad for Team Secret.
Oh man, and this is really looking pretty ugly. Crossbowmen, they can snipe some around the gold here. Beautiful positioning for Velise. He's just going back. Oh, missing Botkin arrow. Could be really nice. Thing is, does he maybe want to squeeze through and get at the left-hand side of the gold? That could be even more efficient. Water fights kind of stabilized at the moment. Doubt is now losing his market even.
Oh man, this is not what you want to see. Those Viking longships are just so effective once you manage to get into them, and that's what we're seeing here. Both players kind of abusing that one as much as possible. Looking at the villager counts here, we've got 53 for Viper, 41 for Doubt. Moving over, we've got a whopping 60 in play for the Max, and then 44 for Velise. So very, very even here overall. Fishing ships as well. At the moment, you've got 11 fishing ships for the Viper, 9 for a Doubt. We've got 6 for the Max, and 0 for Velise. So really kind of evening out there at the moment.
Yeah, that's actually a great play by Team Secret that they're keeping so many fishing ships alive, or even added so many fishing ships. I saw Viper even going for gill nets, and that's really a beautiful abuse that he had some water control over here. Now add some war galleys instead of longboats. That's kind of surprising to me.
Interesting. I guess we're just going to have to see how this one plays out from here. The Max sitting towards the middle here with a lot of his longboats. Some kind of war galleys moving around the side here. Looks like he's ready to unite his force. Viper's actually doing the same, so we might see a big clash here very, very soon. But Doubt sending Knights in against Velise now as well. They've got Bloodlines. They've got the +2 armor. This could be very bad for Velise. Look at his wood line in the back there already. It's already under fire from Viper. Oh, this could be bad. But Viper going Imperial.
Look at how beautifully the Knights are splitting out as well. Let's take a look at the water fight when it happens and the imp timing. First of all, we need to see Velise, how many losses he's taking. He's at 54 villagers, and Doubt going for a beautiful split here. That will be so many dead villagers for sure. He needs to run them into the CC, but they can only fit 30 of them. So an ugly spot for sure, and that's just a very nice play by Doubt. Meanwhile, we see some defense here on land. Water fight. Let's take a look. The Max scaring away the Viper, and now up to Imp as well.
I'm watching this go down against Velise right now, and this is so many dead villagers. I'll do another recap at the end here, but at the moment, the thing to know is there is 32 idols, guys. 32 is idols in an economy of 48. That's not what you want to see. The Viper behind this as well will be Imperial slightly faster. The Max going to be up just behind that, so potentially going to be able to get his last upgrades here. But end of the day, this is not looking good. That raid from Doubt there may have actually turned the tide of this one. And again, there's still Knights in the economy. He ungarrisoned and he's losing more behind this as well.
Okay, now build a stable, is getting some camels up, will clear it up eventually, but that was kind of costly. Most important thing though, as we said earlier, it's most likely going to be water, and well, we have 119 pop against 119 pop. More military for the Snake, but the better eco for the Max, so I feel like in the long run, it could be better for the Max.
Looking in term overall though, Velise versus Doubt. Doubt sitting at 56 villages compared to the 54 of Velise, so actually still very, very even. The difference here going to be the fishing ships, 9 in play for Doubt, 0 for Velise, so having a little bit of an extra boom there in terms of the economy. I'm still not sure which one this is going to go. This could go either way.
I still don't know how will galleons perform against longboats. I think longboats are the better unit simply. So it's really surprising to me that the Viper is going for that. Yeah, it's a bit more efficient on the like gold versus wood count, but still just going back, getting elite upgrade, and then I think the Max, he can retake this engagement and should technically win against the Viper.
Here we go, elite longboat on the way. Let's see the rest of the ups behind this. Viper already looking pretty good. Galleon going down. He's already got his Bracer tech behind this as well. Bracer going down for the Max, so we are going to see a very, very even army research-wise here. So the tech's going to be very, very similar, but we might get that answer to the question you were asking, Nearly. Longboat Galleon, who's going to win?
Okay, +1 defense for the Max as well. At the moment, he only has 3 dogs working for him, though. That's kind of a mistake, or like something that he could really work on. Let's call it that way. And maybe tries to engage the front again. Pop 140 against Pop 140. What an even game here on water.
Looking at the military count, 56 for Viper, 45 for the Max, but here we go. Gonna get some entry kills here as well. Looking pretty good. Obviously, Ballistic's already done as well. Trying to do damage where he can, and Chemistry on the way as well. Gonna be just in front of the Viper here. Viper actually moving out into this middle section here. Gonna try and get a better position, a better arc going on. I'm actually hearing some converts go down somewhere here on the map as well. Looks like it might be Valise getting some converts in his base, but here comes the engagement, guys. This is what we've been waiting for.
I'm not sure if we will really see the engagement. The thing is, against longboats, you kind of want to add some damos as well. They're playing really clumped up. Meanwhile, we saw a sling onto Summer Stone for Valise, who's now trying to set up a castle between Viper and Doubt. Doesn't really have the military at the moment, though, to really get it up. Now he tries to get it. Oh god, this could be very costly for him.
This could be a nightmare with these villagers about to lose. He's already playing with a very, very small economy. So moving from here, it could be an issue. End of the day, though, if this does take them longer to set up the trade, it does cost them trade units. This is where we could have a big win.
Well, it's also 3 gold spots, a stone spot, a lot of wood control as well. So the castle will be just too nice, and it will go up eventually only after heavy losses of villagers. But I think in the long run, absolutely worth it. Now the big water engagement. Perfect timing here.
This could be an issue, though, at the end of the day. We're seeing a higher military count by about 60 for Viper. So if the longboats win this one, we know what to expect. Here we go. The Max is out of there right now. He knows he's not ready.
Viper now building a castle, could maybe trap this down. They're trying to get themselves some control. It's still massed longboats, now goes for dry dock, goes even for masonry. Not the most important upgrade. Really needs to get more docks rolling for himself. Oh, this is still a very tricky one. It's the Viper against the Max, a battle that we have seen in so many tournaments the last weeks.
Here we go, getting some easy kills here. Some galleons getting caught out of position here. A couple of longboats as well. Mangadai production already started for Valise on the main island here of the secret players. Potentially going to see a little bit of a tread war between these two castles. Obviously, Valise having the high ground, going to have the advantage here. But Doubt going to be up just in front. How are we looking on the water?
Oh, Viper's being scared away for now. Way better KD for the Snake. Kind of surprising to me. Runs out of his fish, and military numbers 74 to 61, so those are pretty damn scary. Let's take a look. The Max now going for coinage. A very late bow-saw for him. He's taking the better engagement but needs to go back. That's way more army for the Viper at the moment.
That's it. The units at this point is just uncanny. Viper's managed to mass so many units here. He has not stopped the entire game. It has been about production here. The Mangadai is still moving around, trying to get any kills they can here. Viper already having the Treb out, so going to be in a good situation to take out this castle in the middle to re-enable the trade route through here. And even then, Viper going down with a siege workshop towards the front as well.
Oh man, what obviously is something that is a big difference here to normal Team Islands game is that some soaking rams could be so much better, because you can just put them quote unquote on the water and they can just help out in those fights so much better. That could be something that, well, longboats are so much better than galleons as well, so might be another advantage for the longboats. But for now, Viper, he's winning even with galleons.
Absolutely, and look at this. He's just raiding the shoreline at the moment, doing any damage he can, taking out the houses. But the Max going for the same strategy here as well, getting some siege workshops up on the front, going to use those rams just to soak any available damage he can. And this is where the strategy really comes into it, guys. It's not about just massing one of the same unit over and over. It's about pushing this forward. Doubt actually moving forward as well with a couple of villagers. Going to get spotted by the Max there, actually, coming across towards his side of the island. And in comes the Viper. This might be the engagement, guys.
Oh no, I'm not really sure. Some galleons are fighting off the right hand side. Maybe could wait for some of the rams, but it feels like the Max, this is his time. He is 10 military over, all behind. Reinforcements are coming over from the Viper a bit later. And the Max, I'm not sure if that's the best fight. It looks like the one he is winning.
He did have a great arc there at the start. We're watching these numbers kind of plummet. 54 military now for Viper, 46 for the Max. We've got 50 towards 45. It looks like the longboats are holding their ground here extremely well. And look at this, Viper's being forced to withdraw.
Oh man, and this is the power of the longboats. Now Rams are moving forward. Yeah, Dowd is coming over with some push, but should just die against the tower here. Those villagers won't do too much. And, well, it would have been nice to have some keep all around, but they won't be too efficient. Now sniping the fishing ships. This is looking good for the Max. He might be pushing in for the win here for Suomi.
Man, this has been an intense series thus far, and it looks like we know the true power of the longboats now, as they can quickly kind of move up behind, try and get any units kind of straggling there. Overall, is not attacking with his full force, though. What are you doing? Regroup and get back in there, mate. Overall, he's got 47 military compared to the 62 of Viper. Look at how fast Viper managed to re-pop into this.
Well, he has quite
so
some
many
dogs. Yes, quite some dogs working for him for sure. And remember, if you have all the upgrades in him, the production is just so much faster as well. Not having shipwright though for the Vikings kind of hurt your production, but since you're only fighting Vikings against Vikings, not too important. Viper at the moment 90 villagers, that means he's 15 behind there, but 10 military ahead. Still quite an even game. I still feel like longboats, they're just so much more mobile.
We've actually got trade active already for basically, yep, there we go for both teams. It's a little bit slower on the running again for Secret, but they've managed to get it up. I'm just worried at the moment Viper actually might come around the back here and manage to kill off a whole lot of these trade units for the Finland team here. But how are we looking on the water? Looks like we are going to see another engagement.
Oh, some longboats bugging out here, and this is so weird. We've seen this over and over again on Team Islands. And actually, like, them being so far on the land means they can block off the keep. And, well, coinage now. And it seems like the galleons won't get any water kills because, well, they're trading with the kind of suboptimal market, which, well, is kind of safe, though.
Let's have a look at what else can kind of go on here. We've got Valise with a whole heap of units towards, I guess, villages just towards the shoreline here. Gonna get cleaned up by the galleons from Viper here very, very quickly. Not sure exactly what the plan was with these guys. Potentially just had to bail after the castle and town center was taken down, but not sure really what they're going to be able to do here. Some extra gates up from the Viper to stop them escaping as well. And man, around the back at the bottom, we do have a wraparound attack from the Max moving through, trying to kill off any kind of units, any villages he can here at the moment, but the Viper moving around to clean it up as well. But look at that, the Viper in the trade line over towards the north side of the Suomi island here, managing to knock villages off of the gold spots, managing to knock away some of the trade. This is smart play.
Yeah, actually, it's even smarter play by the Max who walled off the trade at the top, so that the trade card always go down to the towers and won't really get knocked off. So lovely play there.
What a play.
Seagram tech now for the Max, and well, we have seen elite Mangodite tech, so that could be something really deadly if they can somehow sneak in somewhere and maybe get some kills against the trade.
Man, I'm looking at this fight that's about to happen in the middle here. Viper, looks like both players don't have their full forces here. We did see the Max actually have to split in two to go around the back to deal with Viper. I'm not sure how this one at the front's going to go, especially considering how fast Viper's been reinforcing these numbers.
It looks better for the Viper for sure. He overall has the bigger numbers and, well, it just had a lot of forces. The Max will clear up the top though, where the Viper isn't really taking best care at the moment. A Ram even soaking up some damage. And I just want to see more Ram goes through the center and just a Ram go towards Dowd, and then some Mangodite, some Hussars could really kill him. He won't have any answers to that at the moment.
Well, and that's the thing, depending how people want to play this one overall, they can go for either option here. They can commit to the water, or they can try and move into the economy, do some damage there, and really stop the fighting on the water just by economy from there. But like you said, Valise, here we go. He's using those rams, not really to the best of his efficiency. Max up into siege ram as well. Well, I'm not sure where this... I don't know where this is going to go from here. Viper being pushed away in the back there by the longboats now. So he did manage to delay all this gold in the back for some time, but I don't think they're going to be able to hold it here. Viper in the center, though. He's still got so many units. I am really worried for the Max if he chooses to take this engagement.
Oh, man. How is Valise only at pop 110? Just feels like this is the spot where you want to be way higher. Dowd now cleverly walls off the front here so that Mangodites won't squeeze through. Lovely, lovely play for sure. And, well, Mangodites are going back, maybe preparing a transporter here at the left-hand side. Indeed, that's what they're doing. And, well, then the Mangodites can squeeze through. Dowd trying to get up more keeps for himself. Goes for, I think, did he update the wrong up? Yeah, I think he wanted to go for Jasama, but research Katarupto, so his traps are now shooting fast instead of him having more arrows out of his towers.
Look, I guess that's going to be helpful in the long run. Like, I'm sure there'll be a point that kind of comes into it. But for now, maybe not so lucky. Viper actually taking up to Elite Longboat now behind this as well. So potentially could see a little bit more of a switch from him as well. And it looks like he is starting to move this tech switch towards the Longboats. And look at him go. That speed is insanity.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's just so much better. Okay, now we have the Ram go here through the center. Mango Dice at the top. Where is the transporter? Okay, now coming over here, and that could be pretty tricky. We have some towers around, but there won't be a good answer for Doubt for quite some time. Doubt now helping out on land. I think he should add some more demos. Now it's 2v1 on land. Belize needs to make something happen on land.
Oh man, Doubt's joining in here as well. Look at this one. The Galleons from Doubt are in play now as well. So it's up to the Max to pretty much field this one at the moment. Not sure what Valise's kind of plan is here overall, but come on, we need to see something happen here, guys. We need to see something happen.
Oh, this is tricky. So it's the Max responsibility to put them down at a very good spot. And oh, we have some longbow raids in the back here, killing some of the trade cards, which are those spots really costly. So we maybe take a look at market prices. Wood at 26 at the moment, so we're still quite far away from where is the... Okay, Mango Dice are now in the trade. Should get some kills.
Here we go. This is where it really starts to make a difference. Some good keeps from Doubt, though. He knew this could happen. And again, same thing we saw beforehand. You got to protect that trade, and that's exactly what's happening. These Mango Dice getting attacked by the keeps. They're getting attacked by the Galleons. They really need to kind of move away into a situation where they can kind of just sit in and ruin it. But I'm looking past the trade line right now, and apart from the middle, Doubt has it very well kept up.
Yeah, absolutely. He's sending out some skirmishers, even sending over Mangonel. So, well, Mango Dice, they will get some kill, but that's it. Meanwhile, the big fight here for the Max. He's trying to group up. He is at 75 military. The Viper at 60, Doubt at 40. This could be a very big fight. Rams at the front really helping out. We have now Drill for Belize. Could help out quite a bit as well. And he is forcing Doubt and the Viper back. The Max, he is playing his heart out.
He is playing amazing here. His concaves have been absolutely perfect. All of his units have always been attacking here in the situations. We've seen a couple strays from the Viper, a couple strays from Doubt. They're attacking docks. They're kind of not coordinate properly. Here come the Rams to soak up the damage as well. This could be the big engagement we're looking here for.
Oh, let's take a look. Demos now coming over. They could be really good. They need to be focused down. Split formation now for the Max to kind of adjust against that. Rams at the front still soaking up quite some damage, but well, they are kind of costly when it comes to wood as well. Some more wood that he could really put into some more ships. Nice concave here still. 73 army. The Max, can he maybe do this? It looks like at some point he might get broken.
That's the thing here. He's doing well. He's doing really well. All his units are definitely attacking. There's units in behind at the moment. Not too much they can kind of do about this one. I'm seeing basically more and more units. Here comes in the fire ships as well, so soaking up some of that damage at the moment. The concave is good, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. The units here, and just look at the reinforce from Doubt and Viper as well. Units are just flying out of those docks back into play.
Oh man, they are indeed, and look at all the production, just so sick. We don't really have that if we compare it to what the Max has here. I believe at like 6 working docks at the moment only. That's 4, that's 7, and that's kind of it. And well, that's not really the numbers you want to have in those scenarios.
What have we got? We've got careening going down for Valise, fast fire ship as well. So could potentially be trying to get back into the game here himself. Viper actually going for a little bit of a sneaky snake around the back here. And let's have a look, see what he's kind of got. What's he got in this transport that's headed up towards the eastern corner? And nothing but Arbalest.
Yeah, he attacked Arbalest, he attacked Dumpling as well, so he was trying to prepare for that. Thing is, a lot of castles though to defend that, but well, some castles are going down, and we see another big engagement here. Doubt taking the fight alone, quite horrible for him. Tries to snipe down, but is also eating some damage while doing so. This game isn't over. It's still a pity that Valise is only at pop 140, but now he attacks into some fast fire ships from the top. Not really the best unit in those scenarios though.
Look, not the best option we can see here, trying to really hold this one, but man, just so many reinforcements coming from here at the moment. I'm not sure exactly how they can continue to deal with this, because the Max is still engaged with Doubt here. He does have a little bit of an advantage, I would say, but looking at this one at the moment, 70 military compared to the 56 of Doubt. The concave for Doubt, though, is quite good. Look at all the longboats behind this, just struggling to get into position, struggling to get some hits, and here comes the reinforcement as well. Rough.
Oh. Yeah, not the greatest fight here for the Max. Yeah, I think he had better numbers, but some of his army wasn't really fighting. Some of the army of Doubt was forced to fight against the Dogs, though. And it's quite surprising that the Viper isn't really helping out at the moment. It's Doubt fighting alone. You know, the Transport not really knowing what to do with its life. And I think the Max is winning this one, but more reinforcements. The Secret boys really good with keeping up the numbers at the front.
That's it. Look at how many docks we have across the front here. Secret know what's up. They know even if they have lesser numbers, if they continue to reinforce it, they will eventually whittle down Suomi. And that's basically what's happening here. The fact Doubt managed to rejoin the water as well. And look at the amount of unity he has here now at the moment. He's actually got a higher military count than Viper. We need Valise to get back in the action here. And I don't know if he's going to have the chance. Longboats are in the trade here at the moment from Viper, doing an amazing job here.
Oh, and wasn't there a defensive castle? Apparently one went down and the other one is now under trap fire as well. This is pretty ugly for all the gold raids here. And will we see some more fast fires? They're trying to move in, but Viper has the solid numbers. This looks pretty good for Team Secret.
Secret absolutely in a huge lead here at the moment. Valise, come on, man. We need you to step up to the plate and get into this one. You've got a couple of Asar, you've got a couple of Mangadai about, but right now they're not doing anything. The Max basically playing this one as a 1v2 on the water a lot of the game. The fact he's managed to stand out for so long, showing you just how good a player he is.
Oh man, what a sick move here. And well, let's take a look how this will continue. Now Elite Mangodai clearing up the traps, but all the markets going down before that. So can they get onto enough gold? Valise, he has 1.3k, but stuck at Pop 150. The Max, he isn't getting that much more, has 40 trade cards, but all of them idle at the moment.
Even more importantly right now, the Viper has teched into cannon galleons. He's got elite cannon galleons moving around the side here, slowly managing to take out all of the trade. He's managing to do as much damage as he can here, and that's it. Look at this entire eastern side of the island. All the markets have been killed off. There is no trade now for Suomi, and Doubt looks like he's about to move up around the west side as well, engaging all these longboats. This could be the last engagement of the game, guys. If these longboats go down, it may be GG.
It may be GG indeed. Let's take a look. Okay, defense for now with the Mangodai is quite okay, but so many markets always going down over and over again. Some hold here. Big engagement over the left hand side. Demos could be so good over here, but it seems like Doubt might just have the numbers to clear all this up, and we need to see the Max retreat. Pop 170 against and what 150 against Pop Limit and Pop Limit. Secret, they are pushing everywhere.
Man, I'm just watching these markets. They just keep getting pushed up and they keep getting taken down just as fast. These elite cannon galleons from the Viper being an amazing investment here overall. And it looks like we're seeing, yes, the Max is moving out again, try and take an engagement. There's some siege rams kicking around, but Viper's here as well. And look at these numbers. It takes up nearly the entire screen looking at what's going on here. Okay,
the only thing that if the Secrets are maybe super focused at the top and trying to get something rolling at the right hand side is that they might be not focusing on the big raid here in the south, but no, the Viper sees it, he's pulling it away. Some trade cuts are going down, it's interrupting the trade quite nicely, but eventually it will get cleared up, so not really the thing for the biggest comeback ever. And well, market finally set up. That was like an eternity without real trade for the Finns.
That's going to hurt so quickly because as we know, there is no trash for water, guys. Once you run out of gold on the water, it is game over. Elite cannon galleons here at the moment from Doubt as well, moving it around the side. I'm seeing them kind of start to get mixed in. I can see one or two kind of in this big bulk around here. And they are just whittling away at the sides of these islands right now. This is not easy.
Oh man, and what a beautiful play by the Viper. He's just everywhere, controlling the center. So many elite cannon galleons all around. Now Hassa's even here to try to defend against all that, and what a beautiful game so far. I don't really see how Valise can hold on water though.
Oh, absolutely not. This is starting to look like it may be the end of the game. When you're using Asars to try and take out elite longboats, that's when you know it's probably over at this stage.
Okay, what can we see? We see some more control at the front, no more possibility of some raids, more longboats here. Doubt is even moving out. Let's take a look. He still has some stone. Could maybe get some more towers up. Did he get... No, he has arrow slits, but he still didn't get Jasama. It's only Katarupto. He is pretty sure he got the right upgrade, but he does not. And Well, that's a big engagement here over at the left-hand side. I think that's a loss for Doubt. Maybe some more Rams could have really helped out, but I still feel Doubt, he's probably losing this one. It's sometimes really tough to judge those 40 against 40 numbers.
SR's doing their best on the shallows here, but Viper just pulling his units off the shallows, as you can kind of expect him to do here, basically making those Hussars useless. Even then, the elite Mangadai doing their best, but end of the day, 80 HP, 8+4 attack versus the Galleon, 165 HP compared to 8+4 attack, so not looking good. It looks like the Max is moving around the side. They're trying to take down here. Viper being pulled out as well, so he can move into this basically push here, try and get the concave, and here we go. Here comes the next push.
Oh, Rams are kind of missing. The Max is sending some over from the top. Moves back again. The Max here, pop 154, the two Finns. Doubt, he's dropping down to pop 140 though. Is he lacking some resources, or is he just not getting anything rolling for himself? He goes for the trash army on land. That will be a skirmisher halberdier push against, well, kind of well-equipped land Mongol player already.
This is looking brutal right now. We're getting all the barracks thrown up on top of Doubt, from Doubt there on top of Elise. We're seeing pikemen after pikemen, some skirmishers joining in there as well. Halberdier on the way, chainmail armor. They will begin to make very, very short work of these Hussars, even being Mongol Hussars. But end of the day, the water is where it's at really right now. This is where we're seeing the fight go down. And look at those longbows. They're still just doing their best, but Viper and Doubt both there ready to go.
Oh man, I just wanted to check, okay, Doubt, well, he's investing a lot into those barracks now. Does he have enough wood? And well, I just checked it, 20k wood for him, so it's looking pretty sexy for him there. And well, Hasa's now trying to go for the raid, but Viper, he should just be well prepared. Shouldn't be getting too much. Oh, but Mangadai landing at the left-hand side again.
A small Mangadai landing, man, it's going to help, but end of the day, we saw the amount of keeps that Doubt had up here. They will be under constant fire, but look at this. He might have found a free spot here where he can take out as much of the trade as he can. It looks like none of the towers are hitting it, and it looks like this is actually working here.
Are you kidding me? Some skirmishes coming over, some Mangonauts as well, but that will be a lot of their trade cuts, and trade cuts are so costly now. Look at how much they are killing here. This is ridiculous. Oh man, some Mangonauts, okay, they're getting some kills now, but this was just epic, and those Mangonauts, well, they are really worth of some songs.
Some good kills there at the end of the day. We've got Viper on 17 trade. We've got Secret Doubt on 13 compared to over 4. The Max on a whopping 45 trade cuts and 13 for Valise. The Max has gold for days right now.
Oh, really? Does he? And well, not really, right? He's getting a lot of it on the map and not really queuing up too much. So wood is kind of a problem for them. Only 1k wood for Valise as well, and not having a lot of control over at the right hand side might hurt them. Do they have enough wood control? Sorry for the quick scrolling. They are kind of out of wood now.
That's what I was actually flicking around trying to find out as well, because this is where it's going to go into every single unit counts. They've got less wood to basically cut at this point, but how much wood were you saying Doubt had left over?
20k, and it was the Viper with 16k as well.
I think they might be alright for a little bit.
Sick. How are they achieving that? That's just ridiculous. Did they start buying wood early on? Oh, not really.
The
prices
Max
are only
at this point
17.8.
actually forced to buy wood. Just noticed in the trade there, sorry.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. In the end, you want to go for that, but trade line is just so bad. Look at that, 23, and Valise even building some horrible stables in front of that. Oh, the short trade line might cost them this game.
Yeah, the wood has definitely been bought thus far in the game at the moment, up quite expensive. But at the moment, the thing I'm worried about, yeah, is how much wood that we have secret in the bank with, whereas Suomi at the moment, next to nothing.
Okay, overall populations, 290 for the Finns. Roughly 320 for Team Secret. Man-at-Arm tech for the Max. He's going for barracks. He's going for, I have no idea what, some champion aggression? I have no idea what this is going to be.
It's getting to a point where I'm not sure how we can deal with this. In fact, we might even start seeing villages get entirely deleted off at the moment. Might see it go entirely into trade. Just because at the moment the villages actually have nothing to do. I'm cruising around this island of Suomi. I can't see any trees left besides a couple against the edges at the moment. I can't see any wood. I can't see any gold. And look at this. Viper's taking control of the east side of Suomi's island and he's setting up some lumber camps. That's where we're at in this game, guys. We are fighting over the wood lines.
As they should. And 18k for Doubt, 15k for the Viper. They absolutely got this in this regard. Longsword man probably to defend against all those halberdiers. Not costing wood might be a good option. And the Max, well, he still has a nice army. He still tries to stay cost efficient. But look at that, 60 wood for him at the moment. Just so tricky.
At this point, I would say Secret are just starving them to death. There's not much they can do about it. This is going to be the end of the Rams. No more Rams coming out into play. Look at these elite cannon galleons slowly whittling down all the castles, slowly whittling down all of the buildings around. The farms particularly as well here. Because at the end of the day, those farms have become so expensive now. There's so little wood left on the map.
Okay, let's take a look. Is there anything that's really going well for the Finns at the moment? They still have some longboats, but only 56 against, well, quite some bigger numbers from Team Secret. Still some mango dice around, but now more towers in the trade as well. Right hand side completely taken for Viper and Doubt. I think they're running out of options. I think they're only in this game because they feel, okay, we are out of wood, we were quite cost efficient. They might run out of wood pretty soon as well, but
Man, I wonder if they could see the resource tallies right now, if they would just resign out, or if they've really got some kind of piece of hope here they're holding on to that we just can't see right now. Is there a plan in action we don't know about? That's what I need to know here. But look at this over on the east side of the island for Suomi. You've got Doubt, you've got Viper over there. They're controlling all the points that matter right now. However, that said, the Max up into two-handed swords. He is taking out these halberdiers quite quickly at this point.
Well, and Doubt is taking into the champion line as well, and we might see a Japanese champion. No, we won't, because this epic game is coming to a closure. Belize and the Max, they have to throw in the towel. No more chances to win this game. What an epic one.
That was just insanity in terms of the gameplay. I have absolutely loved it. I need to see the resources collected here. Let's have a look. Viper collected 78,000 wood in that match. That's insanity to me.
And just look at the others. They're so much smaller. So Belize and the Max, they apparently had the way smaller island there when it comes to wood. And maybe, just maybe, that cost them the game in the end.
Absolutely. Like, they still did have quite a bit of amount left there on the end. Like, we're seeing the East, Viper was still taking that wood. Doubt was still taking the wood, but they were taking it from their opponents as well. So there was definitely wood to basically chop overall. They just lost control of it. And I think, yeah, that may have been the thing that caught them the game. The Max in with a whole heap more gold, though, overall. But end of the day, the Viper having more trade profit behind this as well.
Yeah. Well, kind of interesting for sure. Maybe the Max taking some of the neutral golds on their island. Overall, KD, Viper, quite nice. The Max, pretty similar. Obviously, the least in doubt with the least efficient trades there. Not really having the access to longboats. And now I can't wait to see game number 5.
Oh, this is it. This is it, guys. The last one of this set, the 2v2 stage. We have two of the teams that have been working so hard this entire tournament right now. They are not here by accident. They worked for every single second of it. Let's get in to the next game and see where this one goes from.
Whew. Mongolia, kind of Arabia nowadays after we had all the fixes. Way less cliffs. They're, I believe, even shorter. And this should be a pretty epic game number 5 here. Semifinals looked, Suomi went down 2-0 and pulled it back 3-2. The question is now 2-0 ahead. Will they lose it 3-2?
Who is going to take it, guys? Like Nilly was saying, this is a best of 5 series. This is the last game. We are in game number 5. We are on at Mongolia. I think we're just excited for this one overall at the moment. This is a very, very interesting map. You can use those hills. You can use all of those cliffs against it very, very easily. Quite easily to wall in your base overall, but don't know how this is going to play out. Will we see something absolutely just crazy in this play? Will someone go for something that's going to be way outside the box? Or is everyone going to be a little bit worried and play a little bit stock standard? We will find out as we go here. Any other stats we kind of need to go through? Do you want to have a look at anyone's kind of advancement into this? Or I guess we've had a lot of games today. Any kind of words before we head into it, Nilly?
I have no idea. We can take another look at the team statistics. Secret, obviously the big favorite here on paper, and they're considered to be maybe the favorites still. But well, we saw the 2 losses there. Robo is taking a small second till we are launching into the game, and this is just so deadly. Let's take a look at the player stats. It's still the max against Viper, and well, send resources. We see the Viper, not really the biggest slinging guy, but receiving resources a bit higher. On the other side, the max actually slung more than received. Didn't really know about that.
There you go. Wouldn't have expected that one, actually. And that'll be another interesting one as well. We'll see if it moves into any kind of a sling game here, or if we do see it kind of play out as 2 1v1s against each other. We're launching into the game, guys. Now, this is the last game of the best of 5 series on Mongolia. We have Suomi versus Secret. Let's see what we've got.
I'm so excited for this one, and let me see, did I just screw something up? Yes, I did, but well, not too important for you. And we are jumping into game number 5 here.
Game number 5, guys. This is the last one in the best of 5 series. Secret and Suomi overall. We have Valise towards the north of the map playing as the Ethiopians in the grey. Towards the west of the map, his ally, his partner in crime for the last 4 games, which we have witnessed. Amazing play from both teams. We have the Max as the teal in the Huns.
And the opposing team being down 2-0 and now evening it out, putting us into the rubber match. We have Doubt in the blue and Viper playing Portuguese.
The Portuguese are in, man. Doubt as the slabs as well. An awesome civ to choose for this one as well. Looking at it, Nearly, who do you think just civ-wise off the bat, does anyone have an advantage here? Or are we just going to be going down to the wrecking wall?
Well, on paper, you kind of might say it's Huns and Ethiopians, but Slav Portuguese is just so nice as well. Instant cartography allows you so much, cheaper archers, and then maybe some crazy transitions into bombard cannons and even more arbalests. Could be pretty nice for the Viper. I think it's pretty even.
Pretty even. That's what we want to see in the last game, guys. Hopefully we see absolute insanity in this match. I want to see it come down to the wire, and I know everyone does as well. End of the day, we're asking who's won here in terms of this best of 5. We'll be able to give you the answer for that one very, very shortly. But until then, I think we can all agree that us, the viewers, have won today. We've managed to get the best of 5 out of 2 of the strongest teams in the tournament.
Absolutely. They played so incredibly well. Same civilizations as they had on Mount Fuji in the Frantic. How they played it out was that they, well, walled quite a bit. Some scouts, we had the Drush FC with a pretty good map for the Viper, and then some sling onto early Arbalest, but that was mainly to get some map control for Mount Fuji. Let's see how they're playing this one out here. The Max, he's taking quite some damage against the villager here of Doubt. Will he even get 1 kill in Dark? It would be pretty heavy. And the Max, he's getting out of it. Lost 40 HP, but got a villager kill.
A villager kill this early in the game, that is phenomenal play by the Max. He is looking for every single advantage he can get here. Using that hill bonus to his advantage, escaping on 5 HP, guys. This is absolute insanity. This is what we're looking for overall. Any little advantage to pull yourself ahead at this point. This is the last game, guys. Every single piece adds up. This is the last bit of the puzzle. Whoever walks away with this one will be our winner of the series.
Oh man, and that's just so many points as well in this team game stage. And well, Secret already won 3 times out of the, I believe, 7 events that we already had, or was it 6 events that we already have, and we are in event number 7, something like that. And well, they surely looked strong, already tasted some victories early on, and they are hungry for more.
Exactly. Once you've got that taste, you don't want to stop, especially when it's been so close. Every single advantage you can take, this is what we're after. Nothing is off limits here, guys. This is for the game. This is for the series, for the match. This is what it's about right now. We're not seeing anything too kind of extreme from here, apart from the fact Max has managed to pick one out straight away. But let's have a look. The Max, both boars are in over at Valise. Both boars are in and already eaten. The Viper finishing off his second boar at the moment now as well, and Doubt in with his second boar as well. Looks like we are seeing Valise a little bit ahead here as well. Might actually go up a little bit earlier, taking both those boar in and using that deer as well.
Yeah, pretty solid start from him, taking a lot of food early on. The Viper, even with 5 on wood, kind of stuck there at some point, so not the greatest income for now. And Doubt, well, 17 villagers at the moment. Did go for Loom behind that. Clearly has the worst eco for now, but, well, the Slav eco shines a bit later. Can he maybe get the scout kill against the Max here? Doesn't look like it. Oh, might even lose some HP. Oof.
Doesn't get too badly wounded there, but the Max already on his way up. Look at that. But Viper, Loom, Valise Loom going to be up pretty much right behind this. But the Max, that is an early uptiming yet again. We have seen some incredibly early uptimes this matchup. And man, it has given us some awesome, awesome plays. The question is, will it be early enough that they can get in there and do some damage? Or will it be too early?
Well, it clearly gives you some map control, kind of puts the fear in the backhead of your opponent as well. It's kind of tricky also to get some scout kills because they're simply faster, have the +2 attack as well. So I like this approach for sure if you can afford some scouts and villages.
Let's hope that's how it works out. We've got Suomi basically in front straight away off the get-go. We've got the Max arriving into Feudal Age a good 40 seconds earlier. Then we've got Valise a good 10 seconds before we are going to see Secret in there. Then Secret will be up and ready to kind of move into any of their military transition they do have planned for the Feudal Age.
Okay, so calm down a bit. Seems like Drush FC from Belize. Oh no, Man-at-Arms from Belize. My bad. The Viper, he will play archers defensively at home. Somewhat of an open map so far. Will be tricky for him to control everything. And, well, Doubt's map is pretty open as well. I don't mind the situation here for the Finns. They will surely have all the aggression.
They're looking pretty good. We've got Valise starting to put some walls up towards the east of the map there as well. So walling that section there off, not leaving anything to chance. He's got the main kind of position towards the south of his town center already walled up as well. And he's already got the house out. So it looks like he wants to start building the wall up around there as well. So going to be able to move it. Viper looks like he's getting a little bit up towards the front here overall. But looks like we have seen the Drush. In comes the Drush and it's going to spot the double archery range, which as Portuguese, I guess is pretty much to be expected.
Yeah, well, it could have been something Drushy as well, but, well, with that uptiming, double archery range is kind of expected. They leave the house, but now needs to rebuild it. Archers should defend this quite nicely, but he's going for the woodline. The Viper with some walls in the back there. Quite solid play by the Snake so far.
I like it. Good play from both players. The Man-at-Arms now on top of a couple of the villagers there. Going to get some hits, but not going to be able to block anything to death, sadly. That wood line in the back is definitely the one that's going to be a little bit easier to hit, but it has been walled in at this point. The one at the top, obviously as well, being walled towards the town center, and looks like he's walled those Man-at-Arms in. A absolutely phenomenal play there by Viper.
Oh man, Age of Gatefire, so well done. Now can move out with his archers and can get so many kills. No chance here for Valise to really get out. Archers now in the back as well. What a beautiful, beautiful move. And, well, it was some investment and his eco is somewhat idle, but it just gives you so much confidence at the same time. We'll snag all those Man-at-Arms villagers. They really don't want to go down, but no, the archers are clearing it up.
That was just very, very well played. I think he knew the situation he was luring him into from the start and was ready to go. The Max basically full walling in his base at this point in time, going with some walls around the side, leaving the back open at this point, but that's where his main gold is going to be, so might need to push the walls out a little bit further than that. It's kind of shooting across the map right now. Might be after Viper as well, but Viper looking pretty well defended, apart from really that top lumber at this point.
Yeah, top lumber is somewhat open, but close to the TC. Archers are still defending the gold there as well. Actually, Viper is still open here at one of his houses, so kind of a slip up there. Maybe we'll fix that a bit later, though.
Let's have a look. Potentially, we've got these scouts moving around. They're looking for a point. They're poking, they're prodding, trying to find anywhere they can do some damage. That said, Doubt still looking extremely open. Hasn't really gone for any walls at this stage. And even looking at his map, he doesn't really have anything to wall to. It's just going to be full going for it for him if he wants to. Scout cavalry moving out. Looks like he's going to try and find somewhere against the Max, but look at these walls. He's already up. He's already defended.
Okay, so what is the Max up to? He just goes into more scouts, walled himself a bit, and, well, created a small, nice arena for himself. Will be completely walled. Doubt shouldn't really find any openings. Doubt, he's way more open and wants archers are coming over, which is quite likely here from Belize. Doubt he might be in some serious trouble. Finns, they can probably do some nice damage against Doubt.
Absolutely. Look at how open it is right now. And look at that. The spear's engaging with the spear as well. Scout's going to take it. And look at this. He's going to be on the gold. He's going to be on the wood line. Are we seeing any kind of... No reaction from Doubt. No quick walls. Nothing going up at the moment. A couple of extra spears being brought into play. But look at this. The Scouts are just on the wood line.
Oh man, and Doubt, he's not really getting the defense rolling for himself. Now goes back with the Spearman, not really getting any hits in. And the Max, he's just so actively here, tries to block some quick balls. And that's another villager going down without really any big losses. Archers are coming over, Viper is a bit more aggressive.
Yeah, he's trying to do is just to fight in this situation.
Well,
that's 2 already.
Oh, he is at least getting some kills, but now the archers are coming over, and that's going to be so ugly. Viper is completely out of position. This will be heavy losses against Doubt. He is in a world of pain. Villagers, they might need to be pulled. They're pretty close to the TC. And let's take a look where they're trying to go. Another villager going down. Doubt goes down to 31 villagers, and it will go down even further.
All right, this is where it kind of gets a little bit difficult, guys, for those kind of watching at home at the moment. There is no second lumber camp from Doubt. He hasn't split it. He's gone for the second on the same one here. So his entire wood income now is gone, which means his farms are in issues. He's going to have to put up an extra lumber camp. He's been forced to put up the defensive tower on the berries. Not particularly really where you want it end of the day, especially considering how exposed his gold is as well. The teamwork here from the Max and Felice has been absolutely phenomenal, but... that's the thing right now. Look at this. The archers are in play as well, so we can start picking units off around here as well. And the tower's not even that forward to the lumber camp, so we can actually come around with the archers and start doing some damage here as well.
Oh man, so yeah, just sneaking around could be a good option, maybe taking control over that hill. Meanwhile, Viper is trying to get some damage done against the Max, who is having enough stone to build another defensive tower, so that's good for them, just protecting the gold. And that's what they're doing exactly now. Max even buying himself some more stone. Does he... yeah, he even has enough stone if he drops it off. Archer's getting caught off guard to the left-hand side. What an intense game.
This is, man, we were expecting some kind of brutality in Feudal Age in this one. Everyone's looking for any kind of advantage they can get. Viper has managed to come back and join this one, but looking over towards the Max's base, this is what we've missed. We do have some scouts in here from Doubt. We have some archers in here from Viper. That's already 2 villages down thanks to Viper's archers. These gates are not helping at all at this stage thanks to the archers' range attack. That's another one. And getting cornered there as well. That's 4.
Yeah, but the Max now, he has +1 defense, he has Bloodlines as well, goes for forging as well. He might want to take another engagement here because he has all the good numbers. Archers at the front, not really doing too much against the Viper, and this is just intense engagement after intense engagement. Who has the upper hand at the moment?
That's it. Everyone's just evening it out. Sure, Doubt was in a bad situation there with his woodline, but they managed to turn it back in. The Max took some damage as well, so we are looking very, very even at this stage, I would say. At the moment, even looking at the team scores, basically bang on. How's Viper going? It looks like him and Doubt are regrouping out the front of the Max's base at this point. Can't really push in on Felice. Felice has actually organized a massive wall off for himself at this point in time.
Oh man, let's take a look. What can we see? Ethiopian artist now coming over. He might be up to Castle Age pretty quickly. Has all the resources now. I think Viper was looking pretty solid as well. Yeah, similar uptiming I wanted to say, but actually it's the exact same uptiming. So that will be Mass Crossmen out on the map for both of them. Let's take a look. Maybe we can catch some of God before reaching Castle Age here. That would be pretty ugly for the Viper.
Oh man, not sure exactly how this is going to go, but look at this coming on the moment at the moment. What are we seeing here? Scout Cavalry looks like they've got the armor, they've got bloodlines, as you mentioned. They're taking this out, they're doing the damage where they can, trying to basically nullify any of that extra attack power they'll get when they go up to the next stage, and it looks like that's exactly what's going to happen here. All those archers have been taken down, minus a couple that didn't even join the fray.
Oh man, Doubt, is he going for more stability here? Don't tell me he's continuing to build more scouts. Oh boy, that means his Castle Age timing will be so much later. The Max is now up towards exactly that, and Doubt, is he queuing up more scouts? Yes, he is. We'll lose some more villages. This is kind of tricky. The least crossbow numbers just a bit better. Viper needs to reinforce, but he's sending more. He might be fine.
Man, even the investment for spears at the moment for Doubt is huge. The amount he's built this game already is just insanity. It shows you how well the Max has been playing this. It shows you how well the Felice has been playing this. They've been pushing every single aspect of this as well as they can. And with the Max on his way up to Castle Age as well, Doubt a little bit behind. Doubt may be missing the meat shield he's going to need here.
Oh, well, Doubt is going for full scout here in Pure Age. Kind of surprising to me. They will snag all the archers before they can be crossbowmen. And the Max, he's just running. He feels like, what is this going on? Why are you going for so many scouts? The Slav Eco somewhat carrying Doubt here to all his production. Max now re-engaging. We see all the upgrades here. Obviously, crossbowman and bot canary will be on the way. We saw Warsaw, so everything pretty fine here. Oh man, this is just so intense. Villager numbers look pretty even, but that's only because Doubt is still in Pure Age.
Well, that's a little thing I'm a little bit worried about here. If Doubt doesn't get up nice enough, there we go. He's on his way up to Castle. It's not too far behind, roughly 2 minutes game time. Does mean though the Max can get some knights out if he chooses to and can push in against this, act as a little bit more of a meat shield, get some raiding. And that's the thing I'm worried about here with Doubt. This doesn't have any kind of setup here to defend from the knights.
Oof, okay, well, we still have some crossmen from the Viper. Now we go into the stage where the Viper will have better numbers since they are cheaper and, well, Ethiopian fire rate. We just saw how quickly those villagers are dying.
That's it, 2 on the wood straight away there without any kind of time to react there. Viper, as we know, has some of the best reactions in the game, and even he can't outbeat those guys. Looking at this at the moment, Doubt's eco just looking so open, so non-defended, and the knights are getting mixed in now for the Max as well, which is where this is really going to happen. And end of the day, light cavalry as well, may as well make the adjustment there. Just he's got so many scouts left, it just seems worth it.
Yeah, I think absolutely. And well, a lot of them had a lot of HP as well. Now tries to go for the sneak around completely at the left-hand side, hugging the edge of the map, and then wants to go for the move back into the woodland, back into the gold maybe, and that will be really tough for Doubt to prevent.
That's it. I'm looking around his base at the moment, trying to see what answers he's got. He's got a couple of spears towards the gold, a couple of scouts, but that's about it. These, oh man, these like are just going to be absolute brutality when they get into the eco like this. Viper caught out of position, is in the middle there as well, so he can't even come to aid quickly. But here we go. Looks like they're going to deal with that spear. He's out of there. The stone at the moment as well. Village is going to get taken out here very, very quickly, microing around as best as possible. And here comes some
wolves. Let's take a look. He is only getting 2 villagers here, so it seems like for now Doubt didn't take too many losses, maybe 3 or something here, but now we'll lose all his scouts before they can turn into light cap. That kind of might be costly for him. Doubt is trying to re-engage. Meanwhile, we still have some more losses here. Viper's trying to help this out. This is so dicey for Team Secret.
That's it. They're on the edge here. They are still in a good position. They're not out of the game at all. We've got the crossbows from Viper moving in. They're going to be able to reinforce. But like I was saying, look at this in the eco right now. Doubt, he's completely off lumber towards the top side there. He's got 1 villager on lumber towards the bottom. That's it. He's just having such a rough time managing to defend this map at the moment. And look at the knight numbers at the moment. The Max is so far ahead.
Oh, look at the villager numbers as well. It's roughly 30 more villagers here for the Finns. They are in full control. They are looking to maybe close this out. The Viper, well, he goes on to 4 archery ranges now, has ballistics and wants to make something happen, but this is just going to be very tricky against big crossman numbers of elites and quite solid +2 knight numbers for the Max as well.
Man, the fact he's got those upgrades on the Knights helps so quickly right now. And look at this, Doubt's trying to get in there. The numbers from Viper are good though, they're solid. And look at this, the Max is engaging without Valise. Maybe potentially just covering the retreat here, but he's going to lose a lot of numbers.
Oh yeah, there was a small misclick there, or a small like second of not taking care. The thing is though, we only lost 2 light caps, so that's somewhat fine. Siege Workshop now for Valise, probably wants to go and build some defensive mangonels, but he also wants to do something else.
What? Valise up into Imperial Age at this stage. 74 villages, the next highest in play being 57. A massive boom for him, but the Imperial this early? This is crazy, guys, because from there, obviously, we're going to get into Arbalest. We're going to get the rest of our ups behind this. Massive bonus with the Ethiopians towards their firing rate as well. This actually could be the beginning of the end if we're not lucky here.
Let's take a look. Valise, he is trying to maybe go back home. They see the army coming over now. The quick X walling behind that TC. Mangonel should be queued up. They should know that Viper is around now with all his crossmen. They are just going back and trying to defend this, and I think they should be somewhat successful. Still surprised that no Mangonel was queued up, but now it is.
Did not need it, apparently. Looking at it, though, the crossbows could potentially get some good hits. A good pullback there by Valise. Only going to leave 1 villager, and even then getting back to the town center. Only thing I'm worried about is these crossbows kind of just sitting behind wood lines, making it so no Garrett that can be done. But Valise moving back across the map, and man, just about Imperial Age already. The Knights, though, get a break in through that house very, very quickly with the support of the crossbows, and Valise will be in a little bit of trouble here. This is where they can do the damage to basically nullify the Imperial Age upgrade.
Well, let's see how much damage they can do. We have 3 TCs up. Yeah, there should be some dead villagers, but, well, they won't really jump onto all those crossbowmen before him, I believe, because the max just has enough knights around as well. Should probably clear up the right-hand side raid, and Valise, he should just be fine. He shouldn't really lose too many villagers and too many crossbowmen here. Well, it will force quite some idle time, but I think they will clear it up, and then suddenly Doubt and Viper will stand there without any army.
Here we go. Valise is Imperial. Bracer coming down straight away, as you can expect, just so he can engage these crossbows. If the Max and Valise get a good engagement here, this could be absolutely what they need to start bringing that hammer down as they hit Imperial Age. Arbalest on the way out already, and it looks like, there we go, the Max going to try and block the escape. The extra range on these crossbows is going to really help out in a second here. Arbalest on the way as well. The fire rate going to make things really, really easy, and look at that. Those Knights just soaking up the damage, and that's bad. That is
Look
bad.
at how they just ran over that. That's just so brutal. Bracer helping out, and now Arbalest take. We see the Viper, they need to retreat. The Max even going for some sling here. I'm not really sure what's that for. Maybe only chemistry. Maybe get an aggressive castle up as well. He has enough stone and now send some villagers to the front. Viper, he needs to be really creative to hold this off.
Absolutely. He's got a castle going up defensively already with his forward town center there. He's got a siege workshop, quite a few archers on the front as well. So the number advantage he is trying to keep here as much as possible. But basically, it's going to start going because end of the day right now, we do have Valise, who is basically committed to nothing than building army right now. He wants to steamroll this one. Castle going to come up on the front. Obviously going to be able to get some trebuchets out here as well, which is things are going to get absolutely brutal. Viper's not going to be able to sit back. He's going to have to find a way to defend his castle, which is where our worry really starts to begin. Valise, chemistry, he's got Bracer, he's got his first armor upgrade. He's starting to look pretty good.
The only thing that he's missing at the moment is that siege. Kind of is non-existent at the moment, and well, that means they cannot really break all those walls too quickly. Trying to find another angle won't really happen, so they need to wait for all that. Maybe even move over to Doubt could be a good option. At the moment, they can't really use their tech advantage.
That's it. Viper slowly moving up to Imperial here as well. There's another couple of minutes he's going to have to hold out before he can kind of even the playing field. But again, military numbers are very, very even overall. We do have very, very even civs as well. Obviously, Ethiopians having a little bit of that advantage. Portuguese, at the end of the day, going to have that little bit of bonus when it comes to affording anything with gold. So this could balance out, but Valise at the moment is in a very commanding position.
Okay, Trap's now queued up. Does he know about the castle? Yes, he does. The Max, he's coming around and he's trying to get some raids done against Doubt, who, well, kind of stabilized. Back to 80 villagers for himself. Crossman of the Viper trying to defend the left-hand side. Now goes for Thumping as well. Trying to get onto some more mangonels here. Where are the Arbalests? Okay, trying to break down the front here. And, well, they're doing quite some damage. If they only focus down onto that a bit earlier, it would already be in.
Look at this. Doubt getting caught a little bit out of position here as well. We've got the Max running around with Knights wherever he can, pulling Viper to try and help him out here as well. The massive team wall is starting to go down from the Max, so it looks like they are actually going to organize trade very, very soon. So that way they'll be ahead, which is pretty much what we've seen every other game thus far. It's been happening very, very quickly. Both of those mangonels taken down there by Valise out the front of Viper's TC as well. The Trebuchet doing his best to try to stay up there. Loose one already against the Mangonel, but this is about as creative as it's going to get, I think. Viper about to hit Imperial Age, but still some time behind it. The Max up as well.
Yeah, and even if the Viper gets onto all his Arbalists and will get some chance to defend himself and get some control there, maybe some bombard cannons, what will be the answer to the Max? I don't really see it. And you know how deadly those Teal Cavaliers Paladins are going to be, and Viper, he will have very heavy losses once we get into the 2v1 fight, because Doubt, he won't be able to help too much.
Absolutely. At the moment, you can even catch, there have been some archers having to wander over and fend off any of the Knights that were pushing in against Doubt as well from Viper. So Viper could potentially be caught out of position here as well, but look at what we've got going on. Imperial Age on the way. We've just got the Valise just chipping away at Viper for now, not trying to overly engage. It looks like the Viper's getting ready to kind of push this one, though. We should see it from him very, very soon. There's Arbalest. Chemistry on the way, but here comes the fight. Come on, the Max. We need those Knights in there. I know they're not Cavalier yet, but they're going to have to join this engagement very, very soon. Viper's not
now,
waiting.
Release is trying to, well, kind of try to avoid the fight here. Maybe the traps could help out against the Arbalest. It seems like the Max, he's just jumping onto it. The castle is going down anyways, and we see the Viper is trying to retreat. He's doing some great micro here, just does some stutter step, and I'm not sure if that will be enough. It kind of costly for the Max that he's losing quite a lot before him, but it might just leave Viper with 0 army left and still something for release.
That's it. The engagement at this point has been worth it. We'll see whether or not if Viper's managed to get away with a lot of these Arbalests now. The Knights, however, they're about to get the +2 armor on top, so they will be at +4. They're about to get Cavalier upgrade as well, and it's going to happen right on top of him. Looks like the Max knows right now, play a little bit smarter, play better. They got the position they needed. They took out the town center on the gold. They took the castle. Now they've got time to work with. Doubt on his way up as well, but it's going to take some time before he can kind of join the fray entirely.
Oh man, what a lovely engagement here. The Viper, he did his very best, did stutter step micro back, did get so many kills in, but he was so severely outnumbered, kind of tricky. Okay, Doubt is now coming over. He's attacking for the +2 defense only now for Cavaliers as well. And well, bombard cannons of Viper trying to get home. Population's not looking too great for Team Secret here. I believe Suomi, they are looking in the prime position to take this whole series and the 2v2 East Asia stage.
They are at a massive advantage here. Even then, you can look around this Cavalier in Doubt's base that Doubt is having trouble to deal with. He is actually getting Boyos out into the field as well. Actually a really good unit to have at this stage. But looking around at the moment, and there we go.
GG, so many split off Knights over all Doubt's eco, and oh man, what a beautiful series that we just witnessed here. And oh man, Viper and Doubt beaten. They just pulled it completely to the end, or to the limit here, but Release and the Max, they just pulled through in the end, and what a lovely game number 5 as well.
This was phenomenal. Like, every single game in this had something going on for it, and I'm just happy we got to see such a beautiful series in this one, guys. Like I said, end of the day, we do have Suomi as the winner, 3-2 compared to Secret, but right now, it is us that has won. We have won these awesome games, guys, and I hope everyone's had an absolute awesome time here tonight. Let's check out the stats.
Great. 3 honestly really good series as well, right? The Suomi series was great. The Secret series was really entertaining as well. Oh god, what a great day of AoE.